Let's go. We are live on the CDC platform yet again for another watch along on this already hype Saturday. We'll overhype it more because look, it's the bilateral merchants against the Asian Cup champions, really. And now it's 1-1. There's lots to play for. I have Somesh Agarwal with me. I'm Abneesh Hegde. There's lots to, of course, talk about this game because there's lots on the line. India haven't lost a home series across any format against Sri Lanka. And they've never lost a T20 international series since Feb 2019. So that's what, 4 years almost now. I mean, 3 years and 11 months.
4 साल हो गए.
Yeah, it's almost that. But it is almost bilateral merchants against Sri Lanka, who showed their capabilities in T20 international cricket zone in Pune last time.
Of course, I mean they won the Asia.
Oh, it's just a one-man show. Shanaka got 2 crucial wickets.
I think their bowlers did a really good job up front in the power play. Yeah. Definitely their pacers bowled way better than Indian pacers.
Correct.
While not crossing the line.
That's true. Yeah, maybe actually if you look at it, because actually I didn't watch the game, so I was at a wedding, and then I was looking at the scores. If it wasn't for Akshar Patel and Shivam Mavi's little 6-hitting cameos,
yeah, and India Sky is knocked to an extent.
And Sky's knocked to an extent. India would have just been
I mean battered. The game was way over.
Yeah.
And then they sort of there were some hopes. They rekindled some hopes, but then Sri Lanka were always ahead in the game, and that's how it ended.
Now, obviously, you guys spoke about it in larger depth right after the second T20 internationals about Arshdeep's no balls and stuff. Did it come down to those 7 no balls and India bowled together, 5 by Arshdeep and 2 others?
Yeah, to an extent. See, the point is India's pace attack was always going to be, I mean, it's a rookie pace attack. It's not like your players who have done consistently when in T20 cricket as a whole.
Correct.
Over the years. I mean, apart from Arshdeep, both Umran has just had, this is first year in this form.
Yeah.
Mavi, we all know that he's not an established T20 pacer.
And Mavi is almost like any first game 4 for 22, second game none for 53.
Yeah. And that can be seen from the lengths that they have bowled as well. But obviously no balls did hurt India.
Correct.
But I mean, India did not even bat well.
Yeah.
If you think about it, even if it was not 200, maybe 180, probably India would have been challenged then as well. Maybe in hindsight, you can say that the late partnership would have helped India cross the line, but maybe not. I mean, the way the top order batted, even 180 would have proved to be a mountain to climb.
I mean, lots has been made of the toss the last time out, remember, because Hardik Pandya said, look, we had no idea of the history, at least he said. So then Dravid backed him up in the post-match press conference. On that note, we'll welcome the Dravid fan. It was almost perfect timing, Shubhi.
Yeah.
But look, all you guys watching right now, stick along for the next 3.5 hours. It's going to be fun. I mean, I don't know why I sound like a broken tape recorder all the time. CDC watch-alongs is a thing. It's 2023. Get with it, guys. But just coming back to the whole toss, India won the toss this time and they're batting first. Last time around, Som, did he make a tactical blunder at the toss? Easy to say in hindsight.
I think it was fine. I mean,
fine,
everyone wants to chase when it comes to T20s. I mean, today, I think, I don't know, both captains said they wanted to bat first. Maybe they're just...
Mind games.
Yeah. I mean, I think in IPL as well, after 74 games, the split was 37-37.
Yeah.
I mean, between teams batting and chasing. But overall, I think in India, all of that put together, teams prefer chasing. But I think what India must have had in mind is how the game progressed in the last game when Sri Lankan pacers were actually raging havoc with the new ball when it grew colder.
Correct.
So probably India had that in mind.
That is true. We'll take a lot of... Oh, cheers, lad. Cheers to both. Really, really appreciate that. Look, let me just throw a quiz question to Soma and Shubh right now because we're talking about the venue and the history. 4 T20 internationals been played in Rajkot before. It's slightly bigger, squarish boundaries. We know that. Batting first, bowling, chasing. What is the split in wins out of those 4?
I know the split for the Syed Mushtaq Ali trophy actually.
In T20 internationals?
International side, I'm not sure. I remember the last time India played here, which was in June 2022. India won handsomely while batting first.
Yes.
They scored 164 and South Africa were bowled out for 87. So that is all I know right now.
So it's even Stevens. It's 2 apiece. So
2 apiece.
Yeah. So 2 wins batting first, 2 wins chasing. I
really like the fact that T20 cricket is finally catching up to the bias, the second innings bias it had.
What do you mean?
Well, obviously, everyone knows teams win the toss, chase and win. At least in UAE, that's the case.
The 3-letter word, Duke.
Yeah, but
not so much in
UAE में तो due भी नहीं होता है. It's just that
no, there was
इतना भी नहीं होता है मतलब हाँ कहीं
Not compared to the Indian subcontinent as much as possible. But
it is just that teams know ki target ye hai, then they can pace it accordingly.
Now, what about Akshar Patel, guys? I know he's been making more noise with a bat in hand than the ball. Would you guys be tempted to play Akshar and Jadeja ever in a T20 international, or
against a right-hand heavy side? Why not?
But who are those right-hand heavy sides? Think about it. Maybe Pakistan, but we hardly replay them.
Yeah.
South Africa also have a lot of lefties.
Australia, if you take Warner out.
I was thinking about Australia.
And Australia actually. Maxwell, David.
But Maxwell actually bats like a left-hander only against.
But he doesn't have a very good record against slow left-arm bowlers anyway, so that is a point.
Because a lot of left-armers actually they just fire the ball in instead of giving it a loop, and then Maxwell's modus operandi of reverse lapping them, that goes out of the equation, because if the ball is coming
and he doesn't even play it fine, he plays it so square, it's just like
he plays it square, he plays it over covers as well. So talking about fine, wo covers ke upar se marta hai bhai.
It's crazy. It's one of these grounds, Rajkot, which has the replica of the Lord's Media Center at the back, which I don't know, they probably stole it.
I remember in ODI from India versus Sri Lanka, I think 2009 or 10.
9 wala, yeah.
When India scored 413.
That was Rajkot.
India scored 414.
And Sri Lanka scored 411.
But it just gives me the feeling that Rajkot looks so different to this Rajkot.
That Rajkot was the Rajkot where Ravindra Reddy scored 3 triple hundreds in Ranji Trophy.
Do you remember Yuvraj Singh knock against England?
Yeah, 387. India scored 387. Yuvraj wore the black belt.
Yeah.
Because
and I think the headline was British Raj and Rajkot or something like that.
Oh, nice. I remember only one headline from the years, which was when Umar Gul took a fifer against India, and the next day the headline was Umar ne ki Bharat ki batti gul, and it's like nice.
Something similar. I mean, that India-England game, I remember Dhoni was obviously keeping. Was it Dhoni or someone else? Ian Bell was waiting. Arey chalo ganti bajao, unki ganti
bajao. Once he said during that 2012 Test series which India lost at home. Bell was batting. I think it was a Nagpur Test. Bell was batting towards the end of the Test play, and Jadeja bowled a ball to Bell. Bell defended, and Dhoni said, "Ghanti ko ghar leke jayenge aaj hi." That's funny.
I mean, there's lots of funny jokes with Ian Bell. I think Shub's Twitter account will tell you it all. If you guys haven't checked that out, that's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. He's a Dravid fan also. But guys, just looking at the surface, right, that's slightly greener than the last two ones that we saw. Obviously, Maharashtra, red soil and all of that, cork which comes with it. I mean, Pune and...
Earlier, not this. Yeah.
This one's Rajkot. So will it kind of assist our pacers that we just spoke about more? Someone like Umrah Malik.
Pitch report nahi ki maine.
But Umrah Malik, will he break the 160-kilometer barrier? 155, I think he hit 156 in the second T20 international.
I guess, but 160 pahunch jayega. I will put my money on it if someone asks me, bhai, career mein 160 plus, will he bowl or not? I think he will.
It's insane.
It is such raw pace with him, and I think, he will cross that 160 barrier mark. He's already very close to it, so why not?
It's going to be a big ask for the Indian openers. Obviously, they didn't have a best outing in Pune. But Gill, I mean, we spoke about in this first T20 how we're mixing formats of players and Gaikwad will feel hard done. But what do they have to do today? Is it going to be solid, or is it, again, impact runs more than anything? Because both of them will be playing for their place.
See, like we discussed in the last Watchalong as well, Indian T20 side is at a very peculiar position where you know the middle order, but you do not know who the openers are.
Yeah.
At this point of time, it is very difficult to predict who would open for India in the 2024 World Cup. Whereas you can pretty much guess numbers 3 to 11.
On that note, there was a rumor on Twitter, I don't know, I just want to confirm with you boys, that apparently the BCCI will put out a release soon where they've going to bin Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli up to 2024. I mean, off the T20 international team. Do you think that's true? If that's true, then all these guys have a full chance.
Should be true, but it should be true, but we don't know yet. And you are saying that BCCI will put out a release. I don't think they will just make it official. They won't make it official. But behind the curtains, maybe that thing could be going on.
I think they should. And in that same release, probably just put Hardik Pandya captain for 2024 T20 World Cup.
That should happen, actually. That is something
so in case KL walks back, there's no, again, going back and forth.
But KL actually needs a very good IPL to walk back to the T20 side.
Yeah.
And by very good IPL, we don't mean orange cap. We mean a higher strike rate.
Yeah. Because he's almost turning out to be a right-hand Shikhar Dhawan now, KL. Just getting mountains of runs, but at a slow pace.
he's a decent chance to be one of the openers. The second spot can still be up for grabs, where you'll have everyone. I mean, Kishan, Pant.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, look at who's
Abhishek
arrived. Akash Subramaniam. And how's your root canal, my friend? I mean, root canals are taking longer than certain football transfers these days, Akash.
Yeah, it's not root canal. Yeah, but unfortunately, still recovering. I'll be there before you guys know.
You will be there.
First ball, it's a wide.
First ball, there's a lot of carry over there. It seems Perth, let alone Rajkot. Good evening, Avnish. I don't know if Chuchant is channelizing his inner Una Emery, Akash. Surely you and me will understand that joke.
Hello,
Gary V. Hello, kaise ho? I think Gary also queried about Gurkirat. Now, Gurkirat apparently is hungover. Even though he doesn't drink, so make whatever you want to make of that.
Wild birthday thing for
It was his birthday.
He promised he'll join us for at least half an hour,
and he was gloating about the fact that he shares a birthday with Kapil Dev.
Kapil Dev,
Rahman, Rowan Atkinson.
Whoa.
Rowan Atkinson
and Diljit Dosanjh.
I chahiye kya aur life mein. I share my birthdays with Stephen Finn, Bapu Nadkarni. You must remember him from our
Excel
OTD sheet. Yeah, exactly. And Robert Downey Jr. and Heath Ledger. So
yeah,
chalta hai.
So, I think Shubh and I have discussed this in the past. Shubh was born on the day Heath Ledger was born. I'm born on the day when Heath Ledger died. So I share my birthday with his
He told me
death.
that. But by the time I realized that I shared my birthday with Heath Ledger, he had already passed away. Rest in peace to him, but what a great actor.
What a movie that Joker was.
Exactly.
So we're watching, of course, the first ball, which is a wide, and then I think Kishan got off the mark. You know what? I was just looking at it like vaguely. I know it's like different eras and stuff. Back in the day, you used to see Vas come up against Ganguly, Zoisa against Ganguly and stuff, and now it's just like Kishan against Madhu Shankar. Well, what are the standards we've reached in cricket?
It's a transition thing, bro. Every team,
It's not like Vas was Vas from his debut game. Or
exactly.
Like, those are like every bloody game back in the day had top players.
Because you had like
a bias.
5 ODIs in 2 months.
Yeah.
3 tests
that
in 3 months.
Very special, yeah.
Akash, were you born then? Were you born then when Tri-Series first came out?
I don't think I was born when Zoisa made his debut.
Maybe when Zoisa was...
They used to have practice games for even ODI series.
Yeah. But did we ever follow the story?
I didn't know Zoisa had a...
Sorry, go on.
I didn't know Zoisa had like a GOAT status that Avnish is trying to make him look like the greatest.
Exactly why Zoisa or Madhu Shankar, I don't think was that different.
He used to irritate me because he used to get that extra bounce in a bloody flaccid pitch like Sharjah, and he used to get Tendulkar caught mid on and Murali will catch it and be like, alama. India, Sri Lanka back in the day. Dude, that rivalry was sick. I didn't like the Ranatunga team that much. I liked the Jayasurya team. They were a little bit more feisty. Oh, edged and gone! And it's
what was that
the modern day Zoisa. What was that?
I think
modern day Zoisa takes modern day Ganguly.
I think he was trying to play that ball wide of the slip to get a single, but then there was some extra bounce because of which he could not steer it exactly where he wanted.
But I think he decided pretty late to play it.
I mean, I hate those kind of shots, especially in the shortest format, because you're just dabbling and it just go hard.
I mean, sorry to say this, but this is a KL Rahul type of a shot. I mean,
exactly.
You're not neither here nor there.
I agree.
And even DDS was not ready for that. Just because the ball came pretty slow towards him, he was able to recover and catch it in the end. So
and you know the funny thing was just before the dismissal,
opening spot in this T20 11. But
what did you say, Akash?
No, just before the dismissal, you could see Rahul Tripathi adjusting his pads, helmet, and he's kind of mentally preparing. And then the next ball, wicket.
Yeah, Rahul Tripathi is very DK-ish in that manner, right?
Very fidgety.
Very fidgety. Helmet भी थोड़ा वैसा वाला ही पहन के आ रहा है, कुछ अलग, सबसे अलग helmet पहनूंगा मैं. जैसे DK World Cup में वो पुरानी मुंबई इंडियंस का helmet निकाल के लाया था.
The party didn't fare so well. Remember, just 5 of 5, I think he got in that on his debut.
So what's the prediction?
I mean, he's waited so long for his debuts. It was ridiculous.
The third ball he played, he was trying a scoop. I was like, that's a
quick prediction.
उसने पहली बॉल छोड़ी थी तो मुझे लगा यार ये क्या कर रहा है.
Okay, here we go. By the way, I mean, I know we keep. Oh yeah, that's your prediction.
Yeah, what is he going to do on the first ball?
What is he going to do?
Yeah,
Madhu Shankar got him out.
I think
he won't drive.
He's going to leave it. Very
I think he's
going to last game. I don't remember.
He's going to charge and hit.
Yeah. I think you have to increase the volume. We can't
I think
hear
he's going to
Harry
charge and
Potter.
hit. Yeah, I think he's going to charge and hit over the fielder.
Yeah.
Mukul Chawla.
By the way, Akash, you made a prediction the last game that India is going to win this game handsomely.
Oh, good ball there. Good ball.
All of them are slow starters, but Iyer is better spin hitter and knows when to attack and whom to attack. So Mukul Chawla has a point that if India are going to play Gill, Tripathi, Kishan type of openers, although I don't agree that Kishan is in the same category as the other two, might as well play Iyer. And looking...
Iyer where?
See, I'll come to it.
Oh, so Silverwood.
Looking at where the next World Cup is, India would need a good spin player. And I actually won't mind if India are actually planning to experiment with Shreyas Iyer, but I feel he has to open.
Correct. Oh, it's down the leg side and it could run away for 4.
More extras. So how many runs in extra this over?
I think it's leg buys.
Yeah, he's doing 4.
He's given
4. 6 runs in extra. 6 runs in extra.
4.
Chalo, sahi hai bhai.
So it's a drop chance, maybe.
Tripathi again after his second ball, he has a strike rate of 200. Just like the last game.
Interesting. So come back to your conversation. West Indies, you want a spin player, obviously. So Shreyas Iyer is your number 1 pick.
Not number 1, I'm saying. If others can't thump the door down, then there's no harm in trying Shreyas Iyer as well, looking at the conditions.
But who else is there in the reckoning in terms of spin bashes that we have?
Sanju. I mean, see, Tripathi is decent, Sky is decent, Sanju is decent, Iyer is decent. Abhishek Sharma is a very...
Iyer is excellent.
Iyer is
decent. Iyer is like...
And Kishan and Shaw, as lethal as they are, they have spin.
I don't think Shaw is as lethal against spin as he is against pace.
Correct. Similar
I think
with Kishan,
Gaikwad has a bigger
Gaikwad is a very good spin
against spin.
Oh, nearly taken. Yeah,
how can I see?
By the way, so like Mukul, keep all your comments coming through, whoever you guys are. And if you guys are watching for the first time, subscribe to the channel because lots of content coming your way the next week as well. And in the months to come, not to forget the IPL 2023, which I really, really can't wait for. Basta Parida, old friend, tongue in cheek here. I share my birthday with the great Avnish Hegde. I don't know who that man is, but he seems a very powerful lad. Heard of great Avnish Hegde? I don't know. Maybe the text.
I heard of Avnish Hegde, but great. I will.
Is he related to Ganesh Hegde?
Who are the other famous Hegdes that you know? Koi hai bhi? Pooja Hegde.
Yeah, Pooja Hegde, man. Come on. Damn, Ishan Kishan was my vice captain. Vikas Shukla.
He was not the vice captain in the fantasy preview that I wrote. He was not even in my team.
Is this the same Vikas that I've set up a meeting for on Monday?
I think so.
Good on you, Vikas. Extra bounty points for joining us in the Watchalong. Well done.
This is how we got out. How much did Gill get in the first T20?
Not much.
And not much in the second as well? Oh. So he is just an ODI player.
So India's top order in this series has average 16. Top 5. Not just top order, top 5. वरना उसके बिना 12-10 का होता भाई फिर.
Greg going on to say Tripathi looks hyperactive.
Yeah, that's right. DK Steve Smith type.
Lots of idiosyncrasies for sure.
Steve Smith almost said that he didn't say that he's planning to retire. A journalist asked him that after this you're going to India, then WTC final, would you be coming back? Will we see you in the next summer?
He said,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What?
And then he had
one series at a time.
How's that not made chatting news?
And then he had to come back and speak more. Guys.
Retire.
कैसा नहीं बोला मैंने कि मैं retire हो रहा हूँ, but we chill करो थोड़ा.
That's ridiculous. By the way, Akash, let me ask you this. Do you feel bad for Harshal Patel? Because he played the first game and then he's been dropped for these two. And then everyone was saying, oh, it could be another...
by the way, let me reframe this question. Akash, do you feel bad that Harshal Patel's career has gone downhill since he's met you downstairs?
That is exactly what I want to ask.
Yeah, that's what I feel bad.
Tell us what is Harshal Patel's record since he met Akash?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Falling in the pool moment for Harshal Patel.
And Akash, you can tell Anirudh on which date, if you remember that you met him, so that he can put that in the filter. Anirudh can put that in the filter and find out the numbers.
Yeah, before the Australia series, basically. That's his
Australia series.
Was Harshal Patel in the Asia Cup?
No, he's injured, right?
So he was.
Basically after Asia Cup, because that is when Akash met him.
That's ridiculous.
ये क्या भाई ये
It is not
KL Rahul
Oh, it's a
KL
maiden.
Rahul off opening batting.
KL Rahul is not playing, but maybe he is.
Of course.
Wearing a Shubman Gill jersey.
The only two batters who ever said that strike rates are
Hey,
overrated.
is it okay if I throw this cup somewhere because I hate maiden over, especially in the power plays?
No run. Bro, what is
No,
that?
but
No, you can guess it. They are the only two players who have ever gone on to say on record that strike rates are overrated.
Are overrated, yeah.
But then, to be fair, I mean, Shubman Gill's facing what? Like the peak modern day Dilara Fernando. Runs the ball a good fucking over.
भाई peak Dilara Fernando को भी तुम maiden नहीं खेल सकते हो.
Exactly.
Madness. Sri Lanka just the one change. Avishka Fernando back into the scheme of things, but we've just seen a maiden. I think the first maiden of the series as well, because it's been a high-scoring series in terms of sixes.
I mean,
Triparthi first actually.
Tripathi, while asking him for a run, is like telling him, "Bhag be."
I think height. So far in the last 2 overs, we've seen some good carry, and I think Shanaka's not going to take a chance.
But those pitches, Rajkot.
I still can't believe Shanaka's not got an IPL contract, guys.
I can believe it.
I was expecting it.
If people like Daryl Mitchell is got,
वो अलग बात है. That is not how.
गलती से Rajasthan
ऐसे सोचेगा तो फिर बहुत difficult है. But on merit, I think it would, because he can be. He won't be on a starting 11 for sure.
Who?
Shanaka. He can be a.
Tell me one team where he could get into the starting 11.
Oh,
DC.
He can be a backup probably for KKR. Maybe I think probably instead of Shakib.
You won't play him instead of Rahman Pal?
Not really.
Huh?
Yes,
Maybe.
Powell is neither here, neither that, bro. You're putting
neither
so
there
much
there
money.
तो कुछ है ही नहीं. Bowling तो कराता ही नहीं है ना. वो तो there क्या है? Here ही है.
Dude, Powell is going to be a big gun in the upcoming year, so just wait and watch.
Okay, Pranav, good to hear you on a Saturday night. See, it's swinging, but like the last game and before that, Indian top orders players don't move around to unsettle the length of the bowlers like England do so well. Example, the World Cup semi-final. Yeah, I think, but you look at the players that we have, the personnel that we have on offer today, they're all kind of cementing their own places. So they're not going to be jumping out like rabbits out of their crease.
And Tripathi jumps out. Tripathi doesn't bother, man.
इसको तो cement करना ही नहीं है. ये तो cement लगा क्या है?
That is why I like this dude. Why spin ho, pace
और वो ऐसे खेलेगा.
Situation जो भी मारेगा वो.
In the next series, he will be the one who will be on the bench, and India will continue with Gill.
It's ridiculous. Babu Rao, if they
this is why I think India should have played. Gaikwad instead of Gill, because Gaikwad's game against spin is very good, and Sri Lanka predominantly are going to bowl a lot of spin. So you could have, played him and bred him in conditions where he knows. Against bowlers which he knows.
Correct,
very well, right?
but correct me if I'm wrong. They've not started with spin throughout the series, right? They've always started with their quicks.
True, but they've had 8 overs of. True, but they have had 8 overs of spin, right? So that's where I think somebody like, obviously he is better off against spin and in these kind of conditions. But Gill is more better in pacing.
I think third over Thiksena bowled and he got Gill out.
Yeah, everyone's going mad in the comments, and understandably so, because Shubman Gill is 0 not out of 9 balls. I want to get some records being pulled up, Anirudh, here.
Let's be honest, this is not surprising. In this
9 balls is not surprising.
Because on this platform itself, we have discussed so many times that Gill, on merit, Gill doesn't deserve a run in T20 side.
So he's just been picked because of his ODI exploits.
Yeah, they've mixed
and Gujarat Titans connection with Hardik Pandya.
Jesus. Anyway. Finally!
Strike rate 60.
Finally comes to the party with a no-look shot over mid-on. And Rajkot, well, they like that. So 6 to get off the mark for Shubman Gill.
I don't think it was a no-look shot, though.
I think it just had it. Let's see on the replay. Shub might be
he
right
just kept his head still.
Just kept his head still, maybe. But yeah, so finally, a 6 in this third
Finally, Shubman Gill off the mark.
Apparently, they need some amount of 6s to make it the most 6s hit in a 3-match T20 bilateral. So we'll just check that as well. But beautiful shot, beautiful follow through, and it was about time. Now I think he'll go back to the defensive prod now.
He will defend 2 balls and then he will try to hit another biggie.
It's full and it's driven. It's a poor ball though.
Poor comeback ball. Yeah.
You can't have that as a follow-up ball. Indian Peter Pan, now this is a 19-over match for India. Jokes on Gill.
Hope bowlers keep their foot behind the line, otherwise it will be 19v21 again.
That's the only blemish with Arshdeep, bro. That's so sad. If he had any blemish, it would just be no balls.
पिछले मैच में तो मैं पक्का बोल रहा हूँ वो मेजरिंग टेप ही गलत था, कुछ तो इशू था उसमें.
If that was the case, the margin of no balls should have been bigger. इतना था भाई, on all 5 balls the margin was very little. So,
but like, if someone asks you what's his strength and weaknesses, his weakness would be no balls. No, but like no pun intended, because he has a lot of balls. Wrote to bowl,
I did not think about the pun
variety,
until you mentioned it.
Different variety that he has to offer. Okay, are we going to see spin, or is it going to be another over?
Why after maiden, how can you take him off?
Okay, so it's still pace.
Tripathi will be facing him.
Traditional field.
Maiden.
Traditional field. 22 for 1, by the way. Oh, edged in just a single. Pranavan, and that 6 from Gill reminded me of KL at Perth versus South Africa. Played so many dot balls and smashed a 6 over mid-wicket and then perished. Fingers crossed. There are comparisons, Pranav. You've just stated one of them, for sure. But yeah, I think about Shubman Gill as purely just a test opener. ODI is okay, fine. We've given him the chance purely because like last year was just a World Cup year and he took his chance really well. But still, there's a lot of time in this guy's career.
Obviously,
right?
but for now, I think I see him as an ODI opener.
Yeah.
No, you said a test opener. I think
in test is better suited.
No, I'm saying after Rohit goes, Gill is a natural replacement, right? Instead of Abhimanyu Ishwaran and all these guys.
Why not Abhimanyu Ishwaran?
I mean, I don't know.
Why not?
I'm not being, but like.
I mean, Gill is actually more.
Let's select the test squad based on Ranji performances. No, why we have to?
That way, then instead of Pant, we should get that Akshay Vatkar to keep for us.
Not really. Pant is, in my opinion, the number 1 test batter in the world.
If he's injured, I'm saying, obviously, I'm considering that he's injured. Coming down the ground. Couple of bounces, and they'll come back. See, they should, but I think they'll come back for 2.
Does Gill have a century at home ground? He doesn't. Let me rephrase it. Not home ground, but at a ground named after him. He doesn't. But Abhimanyu Ishwaran does.
All the Chennai Tamil Nadu guys will know what they're talking about right now, obviously. Jagmeet Singh Oberoi, I hope Gill capitalizes now. Otherwise, he's...
वो बंगाल से है.
Oh my God, my bad. Why was I thinking of the other man?
No, he's a Tamil only.
No. I was thinking about our Star Sports friend. What's his name?
Abhinav
Mukund. Sorry, my bad.
Gill doesn't have the intent to rotate strike only. ठीक है, Greg. I mean, power play में you can't rotate strike. Power play objective of power play should be hit maximum boundaries.
No, power play you can rotate strike if you're Babar and Rizwan.
वो उनका गेम ही अलग है.
अलग ही है.
वो अपना गेम खेलते हैं.
Okay, come on. How much can they score? Another 2.2 overs in the power play. I think it's going to be 55 for 1. They're just going to go mad. Yeah, they're going to go mad.
I think 30 runs.
They're going to go mad. Yeah.
14 balls.
The next 2 things. Tripathi's going to go mad.
For 1.
I was saying 46.
46. Conservative lads. 35 people watching.
Conservative lads.
Subscribe.
They are the conservative ones, bro.
Oh, they are the conservative.
Akash
not the viewers.
47 for 1.
Not the viewers, but yeah.
Obviously, the Indian batters.
Kasun Rajita. No, but the Sri Lankan Pacers, ever since they've lost like the greats of Nuban Kulasekara.
I still feel their current generation of fast bowlers is pretty good. All of them have pace.
And who's spearheading that? Chamira
is injured. I will say Lahiru Kumara has the most natural pace. Maybe.
It's a good shout.
Rajita can also clock 140 plus quite consistently. Chamira is very good.
Remember they had that dude, Damika Prasad?
Yeah, he got into a fight with Ishan Sharma.
He's a top lad.
How is he a dude and not a legend? Come on, Avnish.
Dude Damika. Expecting spinner next over and Tripathi to show his range. Yeah, I mean, Tripathi kind of has excelled in spin also by facing Rashid multiple times in the nets.
Over now. Chamika Gunaratne will bowl the fifth.
That has been their template. Actually, talking about legends to be, I mean, I was just thinking about this yesterday. I feel, I mean, if he remains fit, Naseem Shah can be the cricketer to watch out in the next decade too. I mean, he's so relaxed and so talented and has age on his side. Definitely a top bowler. With the bat as well, he won that game in the Asia Cup. Yesterday also, he looked so confident. Abrar ko bhi saath mein khila raha hai.
He actually told Tim Southee that field change kar lo warna main match jita dunga. Actually, because everyone was like around the bat and he smashed 2 boundaries. So he just told, South, if you're not going to change the field, I will win the game for my side in the next over. And then Alimdar
He gives a
calls
very
bad light.
Wasim Akram feel.
Yeah, Wasim Akram. 51 for 1 saying Gary in 6 overs. Tiksana is coming into bowl. I think the first over of spin this evening. So let's see if Tripathi has a couple of siders before he goes mad. We've all had bold predictions in the power play. I mean, I don't know. Let us know in the comments, because something what Som said right now, Naseem Shah could be one to watch out for. You've seen Pakistan's pacers in their history. Some go on to be greats of the game, and some just fizzle out and then end up fixers. I hope it's not the case.
Shot
that way, but what a shot that is.
मैं लिख के दे सकता हूँ, कोई किसी और के अंदर इतना गूदा नहीं है कि वो ये वाला शॉट तिक्षना को खेले.
Maybe Sky,
yeah, of course, but top 3 में जो भी है, और
that was 106 kilometers an hour. What does he bowl, bro?
Afridi.
Is
right arm Shahid Afridi.
Mahesh Afridi.
Who do you think will be the permanent top 3 for India and ODIs after Kohli, Rohit, Dhawan already gone? We'll take that Babu round in just a bit, but let's just appreciate some spin hitting right now. I don't want to put the jinx on Rahul Tripathi, but come on. So when life gives you Rahuls, make it a Tripathi, not a KL.
Shot.
Oh, this is why he can really play around with fields, the bowler's lengths.
कोई players होते हैं जिनके दिल से लगता है कि they should succeed.
Absolutely. Now we have a man who've turned the year wiser going to be joining us in just due course. I'm talking about Gurkirat Singh Gill, who has many fans in the comments below. Not as many as 3 of us here. So Gurkirat.
I believe it took me a resignation from work. Arey bhai, Robin.
What? Robin?
Talking about leap of faith.
Robin's being the Batman. Look at him.
1 year older, a decade wiser.
Gurkirat, talk to me. How are you?
Good. Very happy that the fact that
Belated happy birthday. Hope it went well. Hope you made it a trailer of a special year to come.
Let's see. The efforts will be there to make it a special year. Baki, a lot of things aren't in your hands, but let's see. But coming to the game, I'm quite happy that India have gone with the same 11, and the fact that they're playing Rahul Tripathi at 3 and Suryakumar Yadav at 4, because I feel it's the batting at 4 is the most difficult position in T20s, and I believe it's best you have your best batter over there, who is at this point of time Suryakumar Yadav. So let's see.
Pumped down the ground. And this is why Tripathi has been literally waiting for his chance in Indian colours to show what he's made of. He, of course, missed out in Pune, but he's not missing out here. 23 of 13. And India now making this power play count. Lots of happy birthday wishes to Gurkirat Paji, understandably so. What did you do? Yeah, exactly. I want to know what you did. Tell us and the viewers.
I'd gone out for lunch, and then for dinner I was back with the family, and then I try and do something, something or the other, which is I wouldn't really call it a social work, but it's something which I believe in. That I usually do it on Gurpurab, but this time during the Gurpurab I wasn't in the city, I was out of the country. So I just come across this news that outside AIIMS there are a lot of people who are sleeping on the streets, who have come from outside Delhi, and they don't have enough shelter also to survive the night, because it's actually very cold in Delhi. It's gotten colder, I believe, in the last week or so. So after doing my dinner and everything at home with a few friends and family, a few of us actually went till AIIMS and we distributed some blankets. We had chipped in some amount of money so that those, because it's so cold that some of them are just trying to cover themselves with plastic sheets, and a lot of these people have been referred from different parts of India to AIIMS, which is supposedly the biggest hospital in the country, but they're not being admitted for different reasons, because maybe there is no vacancy. Couldn't really get to the bottom of that, but it felt nice that we are probably using our privilege to do something which I believe a lot of us should do, because it's a way of giving back to the society. So couldn't do it on Gurpurab this time, so I thought might as well do it on my birthday, where people actually need that. So yeah, a bit of that. So yeah, on the whole, I really liked how the day went, and I think that's the best thing that anyone can ask for.
Yeah, man, that's good to hear. I mean, it's a gesture which really moves a lot of people watching this, but good on you and wish you well for the remaining year. Now, coming back to the game, guys, Kararatne Shubh, like you called it, he's going to be bowling an over. He's bowling the last over of the power play. So essentially just 1 over of spin from Sri Lanka. We've all gone for bold predictions. I've said 55 for 1.
46
You're well on course. So
46, Akash said 47, I said 48. So
okay.
46, 47, 48.
And Gurkhirat, you?
Sorry, what?
Prediction power play, 46, 47, 48. These guys have gone for. I've gone for 55.
Let's go for 49.
Go for 49.
Streak.
So anything above 50, I win, clearly, lads.
No,
Gary's gone for 51.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see if Gary comes close. The party and strike to Kararatne. Oh, get in. And that's 6. Come on, 3 balls, another 9 runs.
14 ball 29.
now we are watching someone play T20 for India.
Dude.
55 is on.
2022 was the year when people got to know about Suryakumar Yadav at least more better. Hopefully 2023
I will be writing an article on Tripathi then.
Rahul Tripathi. I think now, I know it's the ODI World Cup year and all of that. All the T20s, silly T20s that we played, just Rahul Tripathi has to feature them. And I'm not basing it off bloody 29 runs, but just do like impact.
We have been harping about him for long now. He should be.
I remember Sumesh speaking about Tripathi.
Oh, again! And this time even better! And that's 6 more! So all you guys, Gary, Gurkirat, and 3 of y'all, all your predictions have gone. And that's good to know. Silver mode is not animated anymore. Gary's going to say Tripathi is so good, yeah. He's so good, honestly. Cheers, Tripathi. Honestly, cheers, man. What a shot that was. Which shot has pleased you the most?
I'm just enjoying.
You just enjoying.
Shot that pleased you the most was very
at this moment, I feel like a person who's having a warm halwa after ages on a cold day.
It's a little treat.
What I enjoyed
was hello.
The sweep that he played Tikshana.
Yep.
Yeah, that actually set him up. He prepared him. Ki, haan, sahi hai.
Karatne again, and this time, we've jinxed it. But look, he's done his work.
Played, bro.
A 16 ball 35. Karatne sends him away. But you can't blame the intent that this man has showed so far in his 16 ball stay this evening. Well done, Rahul Tripathi. Well done.
His T20I career strike rate is above 200 now.
Yeah, for sure. And Vaishali, I know she's a dear friend and she joined us in one of the women's watch-along earlier. She goes out to say in the comments below, good to see finally Rahul Tripathi getting the game. Eager to see how Gill approaches the innings after the power play.
Power play mein nahi maar paya ho baat.
I think Gill, but he's made his name like that in Gujarat Titans also like that. Tripathi knows it. He's just been livid with himself. But
yeah, because an inch there and that was 4.
And it was a good shot. I mean, I wouldn't really criticize shot.
Yeah, this is I mean, if I have to compare it, not an accurate comparison. It was a very Shaw-like inning. Yeah. I'll tell you why. Because whenever I see Prithvi Shaw batting, he looks for a boundary on every ball. And I think Tripathi was honestly in that mode. Yeah, I want to hit a boundary of every ball, at least in the power play.
Correct. Also, and it's pretty remarkable because he's playing for India for the second time. So there might be lots of questions in his head. It's ridiculous. Yeah, go on, sorry.
Another thing which is quite common with both Tripathi and Shaw is that they don't look to muscle the ball. It's all timing. Yeah. It's all timing and trying to maintain their shape.
Yeah, true. Final ball of the power play, 52 for 2. Akash, any match jinxing predictions? Because I know you didn't jinx Tripathi's wicket, but you normally have something up your sleeve all the time.
No, I'm not here to jinx.
He's been Joe Root canaled. You guys know. Love how you guys are the perfect balance of professional and fun. Robin, man, I'm still thinking about your resignation. I don't know, Gurkirat, when he joined in, Gurkirat, apparently Robin resigned to watch our watch-along. We feel so indebted to Robin.
Off le leta yaar, sick leave.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Paternal leave.
I don't think he resigned to watch us, but it happened to be on the same day.
Man, if he does, that's great.
We should learn
watching 50 beautiful people.
I hope, Robin, you have bigger plans in life now.
Guys, we should learn something from the Indian media. Let's not get facts come in the way of a good story. It makes for a good story that Robin resigned to watch our watch-along, and that's what we are going to stick with.
Yeah.
Let's not let the facts come in between of a good headline, please.
For sure. If you guys think Rahul Tripathi should continue playing the T20s,
subscribe to us.
Subscribe and like. Honestly, do that right now. Rahul Tripathi, show him some love, guys. Show him some love. If we don't really talk about players on these kind of platforms, when will we?
The number of likes on this live will determine how many chances Rahul Tripathi.
Exactly. That is how it should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's like those days when the email forward this email to everybody and you'll find good luck.
The only thing remaining for us to say is, how it used to happen when Indian Idol and these reality shows it just came on. Please SMS if you want to vote for Amit Sana, type Amit and send it to जो भी नंबर था 568 I don't know.
अरे मैंने तो किए मैसेज बहुत सारे.
किसको वोट?
अरे वो सारेगामा वाला एक सीजन था जिसमें वो राजा बीकानेर से राजा करके एक कंटेस्टेंट मैंने उसको बहुत सारे वोट्स किए भाई. यूज्ड टू was in the Sukhwinder mold
scenes. Okay, here we go. Sri Lanka.
He didn't win. That was a time when the Saregama used to have Indian and Pakistani contestants together.
Good old days.
So this was 2007, yeah.
Yeah, Babura, I completely agree with you. I think all of you guys are, of course, waiting for that time when Surya and Tripathi back together.
Yeah.
It'll just be mad.
पिछले गेम में मैंने जैसे ये बोला वैसे ही त्रिपाठी आउट हो गया. The very next ball.
Yeah, in like 3 years from now, imagine the batting lineup that India can possess: Pant, Shaw, Tripathi, Surya. That's
Samson. 3 years for
and
Surya.
Samson. Yeah.
Then Hardik, Akshar.
That's what is that? That's Raz ball.
Razmataz.
But Surya Kumar getting a 50 the last time around, saving India a little
Surya
bit.
against Hasranga has a strike rate of 180 plus something in T20Is. And even in overall T20s as well, his strike rate against Hasranga touches 190. So,
and meanwhile, Gill is ensuring that his ODI form remains intact.
No, but Gill, okay, if I just think about it from his perspective right now, 2 failures, obviously making his debut earlier this series. What's in his mind right now? I mean, right now, 16 of 20. Is he looking to bat the whole innings right now, you feel? So,
but should he?
Should he is the question. We're batting light, dude.
The problem with Gill hasn't been his acceleration, even in the IPL. It's mostly been his power play strike rate. Last IPL, he had a power play strike rate of 117. But in the middle overs, his strike rate was 145. He actually used to change gears in the middle overs. So,
but is that because he had someone like Ridhaman Saha with him who was just going mad from the other end and he had to play second fiddle?
I think it was more to do with having Rashid at 7.
Okay.
But see, ideally, I think this is too good a pitch for any batter to be 16 of 20 to begin with.
Yeah.
And if you think about it...
Wasn't Gill the same way in KKR also? It's not like it's a Gujarat thing.
Oh, short. He's picked the wrong one. And honestly, that is a fucking shot to admire. Over Gaushala for 6.
And this is Avnish cursing for no real reason.
Sorry, lads. Cheers to that. Sometimes 1 or 2, just be like, oh my God,
Gill actually used to struggle while picking the googly, I think around 2019 or 2020. But now this was a googly he picked from the hand and, dispatched it for a 6. So, and this is something which even Shaw used to struggle with against spin. I'm not so sure if he's worked on that, but Gill surely has worked on picking the googly from the hand.
Yeah. Akash, do you think Indian Peter Pan is right? Gill is thinking about the World Cup, ODI World Cup selection. I mean, he's human being after all, so what's going in his mind?
But why should he? I don't think he should think about it because he's clearly the favorite.
Obviously, right? They're mixing formats with him, so whatever he does in one format, he'll just seep into the other.
Actually, if I just
that's the worst thing. If he does badly here, then he'll get booted out of the ODI squad as
well. By that logic, yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking about the last IPL, and the best knock that I remember Gill played was against DC, if I remember correctly. And the best thing about that knock was how he played spin in the middle overs.
He scored 80 or something.
Oh, shot Surya Kumar Yadav.
We've seen
that's
he played very well against. That's the most amazing thing. Very well against Punjab as well. The game where Tewatia hit 2 sixes.
He started off very well. He scored 2 80s in the first 4-5 games.
Yeah, but both those teams had very mediocre spinners, to be fair. Punjab and Delhi.
Delhi had Kuldeep and Aksar.
I mean, guys, we're not talking about Hasranga, Rashid.
In IPL 2020, Gill played a knock where he was 70-something not out against SRH, which had Rashid Khan.
How about 2020 though?
And that knock is the highest score by a
player. 1 second. He has a really good shot. Stat, but this is a really good shot for 6. And Surya doing Surya things, and Hardik also just
impressed.
in disbelief.
Nice.
Greg saying it looks like a 220 plus night. Yeah. Sorry, so what were you saying?
I'm just saying that Gill played a knock of 70 not out against SRH in IPL 2020. That knock till date is the highest score by a player in T20 cricket without a foul shot percentage. Without a foul shot.
Yeah, without a foul shot.
And that was against Rashid Khan.
And again, without a foul shot, scoring 70 runs, it is unheard of, man. It is
Gill is the kind of batter whose value comes out when you play on pitches like the one in Sharjah in IPL 2021. One of the reasons why KKR got on that winning run was Gill was able to bat through, and he was still able to score runs because it was not a pitch where anyone could just come in and swing their bats. It was where you actually needed some quality batsmanship. I still think Gill is too good to not succeed in T20s. I just think it's an issue of intent. He needs to just make sure that he's at the very least batting at a strike rate of 130 in the power plays, and then take off. I think 130 in the power play should be a minimum. Minimum. It has to be that.
Okay.
He is like Rahul then.
Yeah, that's what. Good. Yeah, I was going to say. Sorry, Akash, you come in, and then I'll say my point.
No, one question. So in that case, if you had Gaikwad and Gill at the same time, and we know both of their record in IPL and all of that, who would you pick? Because given that the conditions is West Indies, and that spin might play a huge factor, who would you pick on if it was?
I would pick Gaikwad. Purely because of the mixed formats, and he's been waiting for his turn, and he's a better player against spin.
I don't know. For me, the differential will be who plays pace bowling better, because I think there isn't a big enough gap when it comes to playing spin between both of them. Both of them do tend to start a little slowly. If both have similar numbers, say if both are having a strike rate of 130 in the power play and then going big, because both have that capability of going big at the end, then I think I'll probably pick. And both actually struggle against movement. It's not the pace that troubles both. It's more or less the movement. So if I think one of them is better against movement, because both of them with the new ball there is still going to be some swing. So I'll pick the one who I feel is better suited against movement, because I don't think apart from that there's a lot to judge between the two of them, unless one of them out of nowhere starts upping his intent to a next level.
Yeah, I don't know. Both obviously will be in the race for that 2024 World Cup squad.
For me, it's also the case of who are they going to partner with.
Yeah, exactly.
If KL comes into the fray again and is sort of prioritized, then I would really want India to have the second opener to be a left-hander, because India cannot go with the same mold where their top 3-4 are all righties, and then opposite. It's very easy for the opposition to plan. So that is where you have to then think of either of Pant, Kishan, or Abhishek Sharma as your second opener. Yeah. So I think the way India have to move forward is to probably see one spot is for righties, where you would have Gill, Shaw, Ruturaj, and KL, and then the other spot fixed for a lefty. Correct. And then balance it that way.
Pant,
Kishan and Abhishek Sharma. And your number 3 have to be either, not number 3, but probably I would still keep Shreyas Iyer in the mix only because it's in West Indies.
That's the only reason. Maybe an Abhishek Sharma, maybe a Padikkal, a Jaiswal have worldy of an IPL, and then they come back to the reckoning, because India need a top order batsman who's left-handed. We'll take another couple of questions there, which just trickled in. Shaunak, if you can reflect that, because we'll take this one. MF going on to say, I don't know what MF stands for. Make whatever you want to make of it. Why does handedness matter more than strike?
See, I think all lefties that we're talking about are players who play with a higher strike rate. I know Pant's number won't justify, but we all know the potential.
Correct.
So that's one, that we are not prioritizing handedness over strike rate. But B, given that we already have a host of righties sort of locked in the middle order, there has to be some lefty.
And almost all of them get stuck against left arm spin. Almost all of them get stuck against left arm spin.
Yeah. So you need at least something in the top order to
be a differentiator. Yeah. Makes sense. I think India, the way they've just picked on reputation. So
that's
whoever falls under that.
No.
Okay,
swept.
now that you've spoken on the way players are picked, it's on reputation. We the last watch along that I was there during the first T20, we were discussing selections and everything. And today we see the same chief selector has come back and 5 selectors, and that I feel what we were discussing in the sense that selectors are there to be someone who take the fall or become a scapegoat. I think the current selection committee, the way the whole process has been carried out, it just sort of gives more weightage to what we had discussed, because one, you've gone back to the same chief selector. That basically means that and it's also, if from what I read, it's also by default, because not a lot of people applied. So a lot of people not applying for this post also signifies that it is probably a post where you will be there only for the namesake and probably to take the fall, because you wouldn't have your powers, right? I mean, why would you want to be in a position where the accountability will be on your shoulders but you won't have any say or power? So I think what we discussed earlier, it's more or less being
I think whoever takes that job knows two things. One, it comes with an expiry date, like you said. And two, even though it is a prestigious job, by if you look at it from a whole, it just adds well in that person's CV and resume. If they want to get into coaching, they want to get into BCCI administration, all these selectors are thinking of all those things. They know at the end of the day, they're going to be making a scapegoat and the news will come and go. India's public memory is so short that they won't even know who's the 2014 select. We only knew MSK Prasad was a selector because it was well documented then. They used to do press conferences. And now it's just like, dude, you heard about this story and then it's swept on the carpet 3 days later. That's why I keep going back to that whole England way, where I know like they have a lesser pool to choose from, but at least 2 or 3 main people are calling the shots rather than 5 people and 6 people and all of that.
There has to be 2 selectors and the third selector should be the coach.
Yeah, exactly. And that doesn't mean, like we spoke about it, right? Like where it's too many cooks spoiling the broth, where that doesn't happen with India. Here, I think it's like, pick this guy, no, this guy, no, this guy, and everyone's having own opinions. And I think that's what's led to our downfall with the T20 World Cup. We ended up going with 2 defensive spinners, taking 1 wrist spinner with Chahal, benching him. What was the logic behind that? And you hear Rohit Sharma and Dravid saying, yeah, we found our 12 out 6 months before the T20 World Cup. Mazak chal raha hai Indian cricket.
I actually feel having a captain and a coach having a say in selection, it's actually a very valid thing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, rewards, the tangibility of the rewards lie with the captain, right?
Correct.
I mean, if I'm the captain, if anyone is the captain, they would want a team that can win, because
it makes no sense to be the captain
Yeah.
and take that responsibility without having a say in selections.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, I feel like you be praised and you be criticized, and you know who to criticize instead of just guessing, whose call was it.
Yeah, but then again, I will come back and say that we have to be very naive to believe that India captain coach do not have a say in selection.
Yeah, I know, but they should put it out there is what I'm saying. We as Indian cricket educationists, we of course know, we can read between the lines. Sorry, Akash, go on.
No, but the sad part is, I mean, I don't agree that, as you said, right, it's the most prestigious job, because I don't think it's as prestigious as you claim it to be. Second is, it's not actually tough to be an Indian selector, because sometimes the players write themselves on the 11. I mean, given that we can come up with 15 from just basic knowledge, it should not be as tough as people claim it to be. I don't think it's as tough as, whoever, Chetan Sharma, whoever claim it to be, I don't think it's as tough as other countries where they have to scout, or in football, right, where you have these scouts who go after every game and then figure out players. It's not as tough as they are making it look. It's just that nobody wants to take this responsibility, because they know that their careers might, see, for example, MSK Prasad, right, after being the selector, I don't think he could have achieved anything more than that. And there is no way that he can, after being a selector, there's no way he can be taken as whatever position, right? So it's basically like these cricketers accepting that, okay, that's it. There's no progress after this for me, kind of.
Yeah, but I don't know, bro. And it's funny how the world comes around in terms of certain things. Maybe he's not having a prestigious job right now, MSK Prasad, that is. But eventually he'll find his hand somewhere, because he's worked in the system and stuff like that. It's obviously a very, very second guessing all of this, because we would probably love to do a interview with the selector to get his honest feedback. I think we did one with MSK Prasad last year. I think you can find it on our YouTube page, and He tells us all about the rigmarole of selections. Anyway, coming back to this game, 92 for 2, 10 overs gone. Surya's there, so is Gill. Just want to ask all you guys, who do you send in right now? Given that we have a platform, would you go in with Hooda and then Hardik? Because maybe if Hardik comes in, bro, he's going to have 10 siders.
I will send Hooda because Hardik has a underpass strike rate against both Tikshara and Hasaranga, so the momentum can go down. So for a change, Hardik, it has been a long time since we have seen Hardik in a proper finisher's role. So maybe today is the day when he should come in after the 15th.
Okay. Gurkirat, do you think Hardik, Hooda, or wait for it? Would you throw a left-hander in terms of Akshar Patel, or maybe just do what Rajasthan Royals do and promote Shivam Mavi, just for some fun and giggles?
No. If I have to promote someone, I'll probably promote Akshar. But yeah, I'd probably promote Akshar or send Hooda. I'll keep Hardik. I'll not send Hardik at 5.
What do you want from Hardik going forward? Obviously, he's going to captain the side. He's going to bowl. But as a batsman, do you want him to be that Dhoni anchor finisher, or just the Hardik Pandya who burst on the scene, who's just going to be like mad?
I think by default he's become that, because there's a clear there's a clear evidence, and there's a clear documentation in terms of numbers as well, that his attacking game has gone down. Pacers have figured out.
Sorry. So this is before he captained Gujarat Titans. You think that was a change?
That was a change.
No, I think that this change has been happening from the beginning of 2021, from the England series, because that is when I think England figured out how to bowl pace to him. I don't think teams are now going to bowl spin at him, and even if they bowl spin at him, it will either be left arm spin or mostly left arm spin. I don't think they'll even bowl leg spin. So I think there is that. The other is if they bowl pace, they'll mostly go short of length. A lot of his sixes that he hit in Adelaide in that semi, if it would have been some other venue, he could have been caught. So he had that advantage. So I think that he still needs to work on his game against pace. If he comes at 5, then maybe he gets a little more time to adjust to that. But again, I think he's not that player who's going to start hitting from ball 1. I'd rather have a Hooda or a Akshar come in.
It gives me the impression. I don't know, like
better than a T20 batter.
Yeah, as in, like, look at Hardik's impactful knocks in the last 3-4 months, right? I remember he played a blinder against Australia preceding the World Cup, which was situationally different. Then against Pakistan, the 37 ball 40
and he's still very good against full lengths. He got a lot of full lengths in that in Mohali.
He is. So what I'm trying to say right now is that he becomes situationally a batter? And that's a word that I use carefully.
I think the thing with Hardik is I see a lot of Dhoni influence on him.
Yeah.
And
is that the captaincy?
It's the captaincy. It is both ways, right? I mean, like Gurkirat mentioned, that the teams have figured out how to bowl to him. That is one thing, and he's yet to identify ways of hitting. I mean, he doesn't have a very squarish game. He still has a very V game.
But you look back at the Hardik Pandya of 2017, 2018, so he used to like go back and smash them, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, the point is he can only smash to those balls if they are full. If they're back of a line, he goes back, then it's not going to change anything.
So basically,
when he actually used to go back, so the lines have changed. Teams, if you bowl him a short delivery on the on the 5th stump or the 6th stump, he still has the game to cut it over point, or probably meet it a little ahead of the crease and play like a flat batted tennis forehand shot and hit it over the covers fielder in the circle. So he can still do that. But I think now the teams have also started changing that line. That line is more on the off stump or the 4th stump, where he doesn't have enough room to even extend his arms. It basically that slap he used to play. It's become more like a shot where he can just give it direction and not give it a lot of power, because there's not a lot of room on offer. So there is that.
And actually, one more thing: if a batter goes back and across, then they cannot make room. If the ball is on 4th stump, they cannot make room to hit it towards the offside. They're cramped.
Yeah.
And this is where the combination of both factors is sort of hampered his square play.
Yeah.
By the way, just want to point out, Surya has gone past Gill's score. Gill is 28, Surya is 29, 10 balls.
Yeah, we'll come back to the game in just a bit. Even Pranav Anand going on to chip in with his thoughts in the comments about this Hardik batting situation that I posed to the boys. He goes on to say, I think change in Hardik. Oh, 1 second. That is ridiculous. That is Surya Kumar Yadav.
And this is a lap which I don't think was premeditated. He just saw the ball on the leg stump full length. He just went there.
How do you describe this shot, Babu Rao? I will quote Surya Kumar Yadav himself and say the Chamach shot. That's what he said.
Chamach.
Cheat code shot.
Chamach. Spoon.
Chamach. Okay.
Spoon shot.
But again, I don't think this was a premeditated scoop. This is something like he just saw the ball and something triggered in his mind instantly. And
it's insane how Indian batsmen play this. Whenever we've grown up playing cricket, this is the number one rule that there's no runs behind. Like gully cricket, everything. Surya Kumar has just changed that.
उसके उधर अलग rule होता है. उधर पीछे के रन खेलते होंगे वो.
अरे धारावी में, दादर में, सब में भाई. Crazy.
No, he said that, right? He said that in this thing. I mean, in the places where he has grown up playing cricket, he had to play shots on the offside and behind the wicket because his leg side was short. So he's learned a lot of shots because the leg side was longer. Yeah, the offside was short. So something like
they have their own little that's why interesting tales. I was just reading up Pranav Anand's comment before that madness of a shot, Chamach shot. And all you guys watching, subscribe and like. Remember, like this if you think Rahul Tripathi deserves a lot more chances in Indian colours. I think all you guys agree, so just give it a like. I think change in Hardik happened during India's tour of Australia. He played purely as a batter, and to make the 11 purely as a batter, he had to bat and not be a hitter, which altered his approach. Yeah, good observations, Pranav. Fully agree with you. But yeah, enough of the Hardik chat.
In that inning, he was still playing pretty quickly. Yeah.
Chachant's trying to change the topic of conversation. I still think it's cities, Arsenal's to lose. But just a quick prediction for me, United at third. But good on you, Chachant.
Gil, bhai, kuch to maryada rakho.
This is one of the shots that Gil loves playing, right? The swat.
Shut up, jab.
I remember he first played it to Stark.
Yeah.
Was it?
Kaaba mein.
Yeah, when you think about that short arm jab, or does it cast your mind back even more the 2018 World Cup?
First played in MCG.
About the 2018 World Cup when Bishop was in
commentary.
And he was just like, oh, look at this. And they, I think, put up a split screen of Virat Kohli's short arm jab and then Shubman Gill's as well. Meet the new KL Rahul S. Gill, Abbas Kunde. Yeah, we were discussing about that, Abbas. I don't know where you were. I don't know where all you guys are on a Saturday, but it's fantastic to get all you guys watching us, and we'll keep you entertained.
For a change, you are doing work and they are partying.
Yeah, exactly. Role reversal. I actually have a party to tend to after, so I'm hoping the game gets over. It's Saturday night, guys.
Not surprised
it's the first Saturday of the year. It's the first Saturday of the
Friday
year.
night, Saturday night, Sunday night, फिर middle of the week night.
Oh, God. Actually, I was supposed to go to an engagement party, which is cricket related, if you know. Cricket historian Ramchandra Guha. Big shout out if you guys are watching this. Okay, predictions, because I know this is slightly earlier, but I just want to know, because I think one of the comments at the top of the watch along said 220 plus. Will it be 220 plus? And of course, agree with Chachant. Like the scream and spread the word.
220, I think it's just a bit too much, maybe right now, but yeah, 200 plus they should get there.
Bro, who does in Hicks?
I think if Sky plays throughout,
Sky plays throughout, the फिर तो कुछ भी बन सकता है यार. The sky is the limit.
Sky is the limit. How many?
But you have to.
Last year? 2.
Anish.
100s, 2, yeah.
200. Yeah.
Sky is not the only one playing. Gill is also playing, so you have to count that as well.
Is he?
Dude, like Gill is 32 30. He reminds me of
peak, bolo, bhai.
He reminds me of peak Virat Kohli IPL 2020 right now. Shubman Gill. One of those. Oh, this is ridiculous. Oh, I thought that was 4, but he'll come back for 2. Oh, he'll stick with 1.
Gill's impact is 1.65 in positive. Surya Kumar's is 8.05 in
8.05. By the way, we're also doing the watch-alongs for the one-day internationals. So it's not just T20s, ODIs as well. So if you guys want to join us on Tuesday, do so. We'll probably be here from 7 or there and thereabouts, 25th over mark of the second inning. So it'll be fun to watch that. Considering it's an ODI World Cup here, there'll be more to talk about. And there'll be Virat and Rohit and all the big boys returning. But by Surya Kumar Yadav standards, 21 ball 37 is slowish.
अरे ठीक है भाई, जान
ठीक है
लोगे तुम
भाई।
बच्चे की अब यार।
Standards क्या होगा, 180 के strike rate, 1
we were kind of having his strike rate breakdowns in terms of phases. 169
He
in the
has
middle and 254 in the death.
And his strike rate has been the highest among all batters in every phase against every type of bowling as well. Matlab, yaar,
Makes
what
sense.
else do you want?
Abbas, what were you studying, man? I hope you were studying that Shardul Thakur is not part of the Indian team. Remember, Abbas was the one who wanted Shardul part of the T20 team. I'm sorry if it wasn't you, but I remember you, Abbas, where me and Somesh were like tearing our hair out. At least I was. Som doesn't have. Just joking, though.
I don't have hair because I'm a Pakistani fan.
Yeah, I mean, some people are saying
Gurkir will know about this.
Oh, inside out, and he'll get another boundary. No, he'll get 2. Well done. Sri Lanka have been decent. Sky standards are so high, even 20 ball 40 looks
It's sky high above his contemporaries.
For sure. By the way, where is Anirudh Suresh? Akash, where the hell is
He's
he?
working in a different time zone. He's been working in a different time zone.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Covering one of the most one-sided series of all times in Test cricket, Australia versus South Africa.
Australia,
but he should be enjoying that, given he's a Australia fan.
Bro, but that
also
that
on good
series,
cricket,
honestly,
right?
I thought it would excite me much more. Kuch bhi nahi hua, bhai, those series mein. Apart from that Perth one.
Perth one.
It was
Brisbane.
But यार कोई भी fan हो ऐसी one-sided series तो कोई enjoy नहीं करेगा, कितना बड़ा भी fan हो.
So 1 second. So what's the best cricket match you've seen in 2023 so far? India Sri Lanka, the first T20 international.
So far.
Or the New Zealand Pakistan Sarfraz Ahmed antics. Or Ghana versus Uganda. Last I saw the highlights, was pretty top. A fifer for Chubawande.
Oh, that's my pick.
Oh, long gone is it?
Pakado bhai.
Oh no.
अरे वो था ना strikers, they chased 230.
230.
Yeah.
They chased it pretty easily.
Was that
But
15
no one was
all out
expecting
came in
them
the New Year?
to.
15 all out could be one.
No, that was December.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, that was December
You know,
16.
tactically, if Gill offers a catch, a tactical drop would make a lot of sense.
Shit,
The
but if he
fact
gets
that
us now, his
you're
numbers in
associating
T20.
Gill and tactics in the same point is kind of. Yeah.
But guys, honestly,
who
think
said
about it. I know the
strike
New Zealand
overrated.
T20 international series is not too far away. Will we look at literally replicating these squads, maybe 1 or 2 odd changes? Or do you think India... Oh! He's nearly decapitated himself, but it's gone for 6, and that's a no ball and a free hit. And Surya Kumar Yadav is just showing us how to play behind the wheel.
And Gill has not scored a single run behind the wicket today. Maybe that is the thing he's missing.
The way to drop that stat at the right time. Guys, Gill is going to hit a half century and cement his places at Tuk Anchor. Don't say it, Chachant, we don't want another KL. Dude, I know the Dill scoop is fucking scary to play.
Oh,
but
just look at
ridiculous.
the position in which he finished. They're not showing it from that angle, but
I think the Twitter page called Tuk Academy will gonna have one more entry today.
There is a page on Instagram named ShreyasAyyar.jail because Shreyas Ayyar said playing dot balls in T20 cricket is a crime. So whenever a batter plays a slow knock, they Photoshop the face of the batter with Ayyar taking him into the jail. So I think Gill is going to be the latest
jobless
guy.
people in our country.
I love how they put up the fielding thing right now when everyone is discussing like 4 fielders standing with the bowler.
Nice. What do you guys of Uber app? What do
you guys think of Saudi and New Zealand wasting day 5? He reminded me of Moin Khan in that Karachi 2000 test where they were trying to waste time as well. But yeah, it was good. Baba declaring. We'll talk about New Zealand Pakistan because Sky. Oh, he should have made them. Was this a free hit? By
I think that
no ball was not given.
The frequency of antics done to waste time flipped quite a bit that day.
Oh yeah.
Sometime it was New Zealand who were wasting time. Sometimes Pakistani के अपन हार सकते थे, अपन time waste करो, फिर उनको लगा नहीं हम हार सकते.
In the end, Alimdar came. अभी हम जिंदा है. Bad light stop play. घर जाओ सबके सब.
Bad light stop. He should have actually learned from Steve Buckner.
Guys, don't you think they should just start playing all tests with the pink ball?
All tests with the pink ball.
I mean, what is the point of a 5-day game if you have to just stop for when 3 overs are remaining?
50 for Sky.
Oh, beautiful.
Get the result. I mean, what's the point?
I know, but there's something about the red ball.
Something about क्या होता है यार? Something about के चक्कर में
9 o'clock early start. All the facets of the season.
Morning
the day.
session, भाई. Morning session ball हिलता है यार.
भाई day test भी तो pink ball से खेल सकते हैं ना? क्या problem है?
Maybe the frequency of pink ball test should be more. Like how they choose one
the point
pink ball
is, if
test.
you're playing in conditions like Pakistan, especially, I don't know why in Pakistan they start so late. This is winter. It's what, a 10:30 start?
Yeah.
So it's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock there. But that's in India. Test start at 9:30. Why can't they start at 9:30?
In Kolkata, test matches start at 9 and at 11 they take lunch break. And I'm like, I don't even wake up.
No, I think it starts 9:30 Pakistan local time.
It starts at 10.
lunch break wala concept to that lunch break concept
that's 6-4. Shut the front door, Surya Kumar Yadav. That is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. This is whipping.
So is this finest
It starts late in England as well.
21 was low for his standard. 57 of 27 now.
हाँ, now abhi standard.
6 ball पे 20 run मार दिए भाई.
The most incredible thing about Sky is that he doesn't practice these shots in the nets.
सीधा यहीं पर आके मारता है.
It's madness.
The most incredible thing is he doesn't have to practice these shots.
Is there any map behind Gurkirat? Gurkirat, what is there behind your?
Yeah, it's a world map. It actually is.
भाई.
Check mark लगाते रहता है गुरकीरत. ये हो गया, ये हो गया.
इसने यहाँ पे 100 मारा है, 100 नहीं मारा.
Gurkirat, how many cricket stadiums have you been in the world? I know you went at the SCG because we saw you there.
And
Firozshah Kotla.
Old Trafford, yes.
Old Trafford.
Watched a game or just been to stadiums?
Been there.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
So I watched. I went to MCG as well. I took the whole tour, but I didn't watch the game there. So SCG and MCG, and then I also went to Rod Laver. So I checked out the whole Australian Open arena and everything. Then when I went to England in 2019, I watched the game in Leeds, and I watched the game in Manchester. But I also went to Lords and Wimbledon because I wanted to do that tour.
Flexing, boys. What Peter Pan says, not me.
Did you take a walk from Lords to Wimbledon?
Having strawberries in
it's a good walk. It's a 2 kilometer walk, and if the weather allows it, you can do it. It's quite pleasant.
Because I always think about that. What was the date? 15 July 2019.
Yeah, what
when Federer and Djokovic were playing that final, and England and New Zealand were playing that final.
Mad.
वहाँ होता मैं तो ऐसे भाई ये भी देखते हैं चलो जल्दी यहाँ से वहाँ चलो.
So that is how I was watching on my TV. मतलब जब भी over के बीच में break आ रहा था, I was just switching it. And so it so happened that when I was taking the Lord's tour, I had just stepped out and Owen Morgan was driving inside. So I just waited. I saw him. I wanted to go back in, but I couldn't. But he saw that I was looking at him and I wanted to probably talk to him. So he just waved me, but I couldn't really speak to him. But outside Lords, I saw Michael Atherton and Ashley Giles. Both of them had just come out from some meeting or anything, and they were walking past. So over there.
Yeah, no, I was just saying Ashley Giles just reminds me of a small trivia about him, that he's the only bowler to get both Dravid and Sachin Tendulkar stumped in Test cricket. So
no one else has done that.
Both of them, no.
Oh my God!
And I think Dravid has been stumped only once in his entire career. So
well done. Indians are playing any pink ball test at home this year, and the BCCI is saying they'll usually get over in 3 days. The outcast hitting back at Somesh Agarwal. By the way, 55 people watching. Please like and subscribe, guys. We're reaching 20K subscribers soon on YouTube, and we'll be here throughout the course of the year. Great stuff.
The only number greater than the number of people watching us right now is Surya Kumar's score.
It's Surya Kumar's score.
Not out.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the way he's just batted, it's like men versus boys. It's like 7th graders taking on 12th graders. And 12th graders just like doing 7th grade stuff. I mean, it's like chun ke maar raha hai bhai.
Kya bolu?
Gill is what, a 3rd grader?
Dude, I mean, maybe Sri Lanka looking like 1st graders.
31 ball 70. This reminds me of 30
Gill se double hai bhai wo. Gill is 34, Surya Kumar is 70.
Okay, 1 second. So quick question to all you guys and the people in the comments. Who's going to get to their landmark faster? Surya Kumar 100 or Gill's 50? Comment. Let us know in the comments below.
I will say Surya Kumar's 100 and India's 200 before Gill's 50.
Oh, for sure.
Which knock? So 31 ball 70 and Yuvraj is 30 ball 70. Which knock is better?
But obviously Yuvraj, yeah.
That was peak Yuvraj.
Bowling attack conditions.
Oh, he's got 6 more. This is ridiculous from Surya Kumar Yadav. 76 or 32. Another 6 is what I was going to say. So far, he's got 18
If
of
Surya
this.
gets 100 today,
If
Surya gets 100 today, he'll just be behind Rohit.
If he scores at 100 today?
If Surya scores 100 today, he'll just be behind Rohit Sharma for the number of T20I hundreds for an Indian batter. And he's yet to play 50 T20I innings. This is Surya's 43rd T20I innings.
And I think I can safely say that he would have most hundreds by a player at number 3 or lower.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I'm on analysis today for this match. I don't think I'll need to write anything new. I can just put my previous Surya Kumar piece on the
yellow. Control C. Actually, your header can be Control C, Control V.
But that is Surya's innings as well. Every inning every knock of his looks similarly sublime.
And now Gill getting runs as well.
I can visualize the header of that article. So Sky goes Control C, Control.
Nice.
And I like what Greg says as well. 150 Sky before Gill's 50. I mean, there's some real Gill piss takers.
By the way, something off topic. So we were just discussing Alimdar taking players off the field in bad light. I have a theory why he did that. 2007 World Cup final. It was finished in dark. And Alimdar was one of the umpires, and he was criticized for it because he should have taken the players off and called off the match and awarded it to Australia, but he did not. The match was finished.
There was also at that point of time he couldn't have called it off. They would have had to come the next day and complete it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Something
right?
like that. Yeah.
They had to come back the next day or something, but they were going in mad.
Yeah, but they continued, and Alimdar received a lot of flack for that. So I think that may have played on his mind, and he thought, okay,
maybe
let's finish it.
2007.
अभी
तक होगा उसके दिमाग में
गालियां जब पड़ती हो तो फिर याद रहता है.
But at that point of time, it was the correct decision to continue with the spinners for the last 3 overs when it was getting so dark, because it would have made zero sense to come back the next day and bowl those overs.
That is true. Jagmeet Singh saying why installing a shed at the top of the stadium is not considered in cricket, considering sometimes so many matches get postponed due to rain. I know how Oz few grounds this facility. Yeah, absolutely. The Telstra Dome, I think it was,
but Telstra Dome
which had a retractable roof.
Telstra Dome is the same stadium which held the 2005 series between Australia and the rest of the world 11.
Yeah. And I think some Australia-South Africa games way back in the day. Yeah,
that stadium is a Marvel Stadium. Now the home of
free vacation for world cricketers by ICC, and everyone just enjoyed that vacation and came back.
Exactly. He wants to. He's taking on the arm, and they'll get these.
So Gill is indeed going to get his 51st.
Do 1 second. I might be blowing things out of the water here, but they're pretty much 165 for 2 in 15. That could be 250 coming, dude. What's India's highest T20 international score, by the way, Anirudh?
260 something.
No, 260. They scored 260 against Sri Lanka in
Bowl him.
So
Shubman Gill doesn't get his 50. Castle by Hasaranga.
Okay, that game in Indore, right?
Yeah.
That game in Indore, yeah.
When both Rohit and KL scored 100.
I think anyway it should be illegal to score less than, like, as a batting unit, you should be cancelled if you score less than 220 runs in Indore. Boundary.
I mean, they should make a 1 innings game. जिसकी पहली बैटिंग है टारगेट है 220 बनाओ तो ठीक है तो फिर हार गए.
Indian Peter Pan saying 225 at least. Yeah, that's 60 runs from here pretty much with 5 overs to go. So that's par at this moment in time. Shubman Gill 46 to 36, his highest T20 international score as it stands. Obviously, he had 2 failures in the first 2 games. So that'll do himself a world of good. Hopefully, that doesn't really propel his case into the New Zealand T20 series as well. Do you think they'll pick similar squads?
So I think
because that series also doesn't matter.
They should.
They should. तभी तो team बनेगी भाई.
Yeah. So Samson,
no point chopping and changing so much, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But I think they'll give him another series because it makes no sense to just give 3 games to someone.
Yeah, I agree. To him and Kishan as well.
I just hope Samson's at least fit for the New Zealand T20 series because he's not going to get a look in for the ODIs.
So that means no Tripathi?
both of them. Yeah, मजाक चल रहा है भाई.
कौन जाएगा भाई?
I would take out
bowler कोई एक है.
Shubman.
Yeah,
I just can't understand how Hasaranga still does Neymar celebration after being hit for so many sexes. It's honestly Sri Lanka. Look at even Karuratne. I think he was just pumped twice down the ground by Tripathi, but then he had the dab. Sorry, Shub did it better than me there. And then Hasaranga with the Neymar thing. I think they just enjoy their cricket.
Yeah, at least they have celebrations. बाकी सब तो ऐसा.
I
mean, do we know
celebrations?
Dude, now the 50th over mark, they should have said Akshar.
I think the best is Tiksana. That Archer thing. Is it copied? No, it's not copied.
Something different.
Oh, that way Shamsi's is the best, bro. Who pulls out a bloody sword from like his underskins?
Because I come from an engineering background, I want to say this, but there are sometimes people who just cleared an exam with 34, 35 marks who celebrate a lot more than someone who gets a distinction or gets first class with 75 or 80 marks out of 100. So it's just the way the people are. You can't fault them for celebrating.
No, that and plus they always. I mean, all the cricketers just say if you get a wicket, you score runs, just enjoy it. You never know when you're going to get picked for India, whatever. Just enjoy it, or any other team that they're representing.
And I mean, they have to pump themselves up, right? I mean, they can't just keep the tempo go down and down. They need some.
So basically, it depends on the individuals.
I think that comment came out of the fact that because they're anyway getting thumped, they shouldn't really take pride in celebration.
My only reservation with these celebrations are, I mean, why do you need to copy someone so diligently? I mean,
no, even if you want to copy, it's fine. I think Siraj did the Sue, Wayne Farnell did
Siraj has been copying Ronaldo for like last
Bumrah copied Tom.
years, actually.
Yeah.
But Bumrah won.
No, I mean, all these celebrations are fine, but just don't do a celebration which will cost you a place in your team. You shouldn't get an injury.
Hassan Ali.
Yeah.
Dale did not get 100
ridiculous.
in that game.
And remember, there was an old United player also who'd score and then he'd do like these flips. Like Nani.
Rohit Sharma can do flips.
Backflip. So much bye, Rohit. Bye.
He can flip up vada pav into him.
Thank you, Abbas. Honestly, I know Hardik is coming right now, but I agree with Gurkira. They should have said Aksha. They should have said Hooda. Because right now, it's almost crash bang Wallop from here on. 5 overs, puck it, go for it, dude. Shivam Ma, we can bat also. So, don't know. 77 to 35.
The point is, everyone wants to bat with Sky. अगर अभी Sky out होता और Gill होता तो maybe they would have said अक्सर क्या ठीक है मुझे नहीं खेलना तू जा. बाकियों का confidence इतना ऊपर हो जाता है कि हाँ भाई ये भी सामने है तो अपन मार लेंगे.
That ball against Gill actually kept low. It went right under his bat.
So 1 second, we'll take Sai Baraga's question, but before that, if you guys think Suryakumar Yadav will get his 100 with another glorious 6,
83 of
like this video, and if you think he might get out, subscribe.
This is becoming like AVD knock against West Indies. He hit so many of these lapses.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Sai goes on to ask, and let's honestly take all you guys in terms of your
I love
best
celebrations.
Cricket celebrations.
+1.
So Dale Steyn.
Chainsaw, bro. It used to pump me up as well while watching the
Bretley
game.
Chainsaw.
Bretley भी बहुत सही था.
Yeah, Bretley Chainsaw was the original Chainsaw.
But Bretley's jump, that wacky jump that he used to do.
Talk about wacky jumps. What about Zahid Khan?
Zahid Khan to do the wacky jumps कैसे याद?
वो उसका action में jump था, celebration में.
But his
celebration was just this raising arms.
Christ, passion of the Christ.
But I liked Shoaib Akhtar's and Ashish Nehra's celebration. That running like a bird.
Rabada also does a low-key Shoaib Akhtar right now.
In Durban, 2003.
Nowadays.
I think there's only 2 cricketers who come to mind who get a wicket, at least bowlers, and then go off on mad runs. One is Imran Tahir, and back in the day it was Tino Best.
Best is Venkatesh Prasad.
Oh yeah, Best is Venkatesh Prasad.
What about Fidel Edwards and Collymore then?
Oh yeah, you can't see.
I used to love those.
Oh, Hardik's not timed this well, and it is caught at long off. So Hardik Pandya perishes, and maybe, just maybe, I don't think he picked the slow ball from Rajata. There was 110.3. It was probably close to Theeksana's fastest delivery of the day. Indian Peter Pan saying, I can confirm I've liked and subscribed. Thank you, Peter Pan. Really, really appreciate that. Tell all the other people around you. David Warner's celebration is also
brilliant. Brilliant.
You know what I saw about the David Warner 100 celebration though? So I don't know if you guys follow Fox on Insta. They put the broadcast lens off it and how that director was cutting from, okay, wait for him, take a 41.
That frame.
My God, David Warner for sure.
Like Nehra's anti-celebration when someone dropped a catch off his bowling.
What did he say to Dhoni famously?
Tumhari maa ki churiya.
It was a trick question. Shub fell for it. We clipped that part of the watch along.
I said Chudia, right?
Yeah, he said Chudia.
What about
Bangles?
What about Ajit Agarkar's partial NSFW celebration?
Oh, when he got who did he get? Langa?
Every time.
Maybe. How did Harbhajan celebrate? Oh, Gangnam.
No.
The Gangnam
That
वो तो
was
बहुत
happened
बाद में
once.
use किया था उसने. Gangnam is what Gilchrist did after dismissing
Harbhajan just
Harbhajan.
used to go on a celebratory run.
And then this.
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, Kohli's celebrations is not celebrations. It's just abuse. It's honestly like, in what angle is he doing it? What is he threatening?
Kohli is actually decent, but with abuses.
I think my favorite Kohli celebration was, I don't know, Gurpreet, remember when there was a brain fade, Umesh Trapp's Hanscomb, or was it Steve Smith itself?
Steve Smith.
And then Kohli loses his shit.
They were like, look at the dressing room.
Loses his shit. And the second time I saw him lose his shit for a wicket was when Bumrah nicked off Williamson. I think it was one of the test matches in New Zealand. And then Kohli's just like, and it was just nuts. And it became one of those boys.
I mean, you said it's not celebration.
No.
You're saying it's not celebration, it's abuse. I'm saying it's not much of a difference when you come from West Delhi.
Yeah, Sai Bhargava is saying, do you agree that Dale Steyn has the smoothest action ever? Second smooth would be Jimmy Anderson for me. Smooth action.
I think Rabada's action is more smooth, because if Dale Steyn's action was smoother, or he didn't have that elbow extension, he wouldn't have the kind of injuries that he had post 2014-2015. So I think Rabada's action
elbow extension natural? I mean, could he have helped it? Because even Umran Malik has that elbow extension.
Yeah, but just think of smooth actions in world cricket. Who comes to mind?
Jofra Archer has an unbelievably smooth action.
Archer is pretty good. I mean,
pace कहाँ से generate किया समझ ही नहीं आता भाई.
And of course, I mean, Brett Lee. Everyone copies Brett Lee.
Oh, look at this shot for 6. Oh my God, it's
90
another
of
one.
38.
And this is above third man. I know one of Shub's favorite features in the cricket.com app is the worm, but check out, honestly, the wagon wheel. It'll tell you where this man...
I have the wagon wheel on, man. Surya Kumar Kai.
He's accumulated runs ridiculously, and it has a live...
Every part of the ground he has scored a 6 almost. He has a boundary. He has a boundary in every part of the ground except straight down the wicket. And that is something I wrote in my piece as well, that his boundary percentage straight down the wicket is fairly low. It is around 10% or even lower, and behind the wicket it is almost thrice. So,
Jesus.
I mean,
तो हटा दो long on हटा के पीछे.
भाई तुम long on हटा के पीछे रखोगे, वो सामने मारने लग जाएगा फिर.
Silverwood is looking through all the books and he's just like, क्या करूँ भाई, क्या करूँ. Madhushanka anyway has been so expensive, and he'll go for more runs. Because honestly, okay, fine. Let's just break it down, right? I mean, Pranav going on to say, when will Sky do a 25 ball 87 that Raina did? Two of my regrets are not being able to see 2 brilliant innings, which natural conclusion, this Raina's one and the other one's Hardik's Champions Trophy final. Fully agree. What is it about Sky which makes him so special? No, as in like, maybe, I mean, I would rate Suresh Raina's 87 as one of the best T20 knocks ever. But when he's doing shit like this, so Gurkirat, is it just premeditation? Is it just the field placement? Or is it just balls and bravado and having cojones?
All three.
It's a combination of everything.
All of the above.
But
that's mad, bro. That's mad.
I think one huge factor in this, and I've said this before as well, is the strong wrists he have. He's not only able to maneuver the ball at the very last moment. I mean, he can play the same ball down to mid off or long off, and he can play that very same ball behind point. It's just down to his wrist. One is he's able to maneuver those balls, and the other is that he's still able to get enough power or timing while maneuvering those shots to ensure that they clear the fielder or clear the boundary. And then obviously there's the intent and the confidence and everything else. But I think a huge factor here is just the wrist work, the way he's able to open up fields.
I mean, look at the stat. I mean, only against Hasaranga his strike rate is 118. Rest against every bowler his strike rate is 230 plus. I mean,
and when Surya Kumar came out to bat, I said that against Hasaranga his strike rate is above 180. So उसके against को छोड़ के उसने सबको मारा है आज. That's
bottom
out.
hand from Deepak Hooda, but straight to the man. And it is, of course, another catch.
Akshar Patel now, bro.
Pasaranga. Just pure instinct.
6 ball, 8 runs and 2 wickets later, we'll have our wish. Akshar Patel sort of promoted.
And then Shivam Mavi, you can see him to bat again, of course. 189 for 5. I want India to get 220 and then go mad, but like even 220 right now.
Madhushankar's actions like Pedro Collins.
Pedro Collins. Nice.
Pedro Collins from the subcontinent. But yeah, he's been expensive, Madhushankar. So India 189 for 5, 20 balls remain. Akshar, of course, has been in some 6-hitting form. And then there's Shivam Mavi. So how much can India muster up? I know there was a couple of comments saying 220 plus. Have your say in the comments below, but before we, of course, see the next 20 balls. And we'll, of course, be there at the mid-innings break talking about various bunch of things. Now, also want to draw the viewers' attention to pretty much the articles being dished up by this guy and his team, because I feel lots of people join us on our website. They join us on a YouTube platform. They're interactive. But talk to me about the articles, guys. Why can't you just tell all the viewers to like read the articles? You guys put in so much time. I'm just like, kya kar rahe hain?
So you actually use the cuss word completely.
I said Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes.
Oh, you said Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
Okay. It rhymed so much that I actually felt that you actually said that word.
Yeah, because honestly, if I didn't work at cricket.com, I would still read the articles because it's written with a lot of thought.
A lot of thought and a lot of numbers, a lot of relevant numbers.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not like we have just put out numbers for the sake of it. We prove narratives with numbers, and
data being the proof in the pudding.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't understand why would you not want to read them. If you are genuinely interested in the game, if you like to study the game, I think I'm not boasting, but yeah, I think you should come to cricket.com and read our articles as well. Though it will take a bit of time, but I mean, it will be worth the wait.
So what is cricket ultimately, right? We all love this game, but some people love their stats, some people love their fun and bakchodi. We give you an assortment of everything. Ask Gurkirat. You've seen Gurkirat's live shows on Friday. He gets a lot of interaction. Somesh pops along every time the watch along. People like, of course, listening to this man. I mean, they should follow you more on Twitter, lad, to be fair. I love how everyone's commenting their scores 230, 250, 251. Madness.
230 looks like the best case. Yeah. No, 230 se upar bhi ho sakta hai. Yeah. Best case nahi bolunga.
That's 36 from 3, bro. Yeah, it's doable. That's doable.
Yeah, but with Surya being there...
By the way, who has more followers between the two of you?
Man, the man. I'm a little timid on Twitter. Yeah, that's a problem. I'm more of an Insta man, and I say that because like more active. Gary's saying could be 240, and Yoli read that as 420. Sorry. If you guys know.
So now would be a good time for at least one of us to take a break.
Yeah. Let's save our batteries. You guys go. One of you guys pick. Maybe.
Okay, my food is up on its way.
Okay, yeah. I'll need a break at like 9:30, so I'm good for another
9:30. Okay.
1 hour.
Very specific.
1 hour, just dinner time.
Oh, my food is 6 minutes away, guys. I'll see you in a while.
Yeah.
Good excuse.
Shubh's leaving
to take a break.
But what is Shubh having for dinner today?
You can only know that once you tell us what you had for your birthday lunch, boy.
By the way, you are allowed only one break.
Yeah, and Shubh, what do you have for dinner?
Huh?
What do you have for dinner?
The
shawarma, the Ista shawarma. It's a wheat shawarma with double meat. Bro,
even I have ordered for dinner now.
It's a good order. It's a very good order. Yeah. And what about you, Gurkirat? Where was your birthday lunch?
I had Italian.
Italian, nice. And then a family dinner.
Today I am having Rajma Chawal made at home.
Good old Rajma. On a Saturday, it's a little dodgy, but like suit yourself. I know
but I have to go to a wedding tomorrow, so I'm anyway going to eat out, and been eating out quite a lot, so might as well have some food.
Balanced diet on a Saturday night. Mukul's actually revisited one of the chats we were having earlier, going on to say who's the smoothest cricket action you've known or noticed. He goes on to say Zaheer Khan. I actually thought of another name right now, Curtly Ambrose.
Yeah,
it's perfect. I mean, I know it was more kind of scary to watch him, but he was pretty smooth. Right, so Theekshana bowling to Akshar Patel. And remember, Akshar Patel, if it wasn't for him and a little bit of Sky and Mavi, India would have just probably lost that second T20 by like 90, 100 runs.
You know the thing about Arshdeep's action, Gary? If you just observe his head, I mean, I think he keeps it pretty stable. because
even in his follow through.
Yeah, even his follow through, and mainly at the time of delivery, because a lot of bowlers don't do that.
Yeah. Did you think Srishant had a smooth action?
He had a brilliant. Actually, his entire action and even the release, seam position was top.
He was one of those bowlers sometimes who would go wide of the crease and come back in, like what Ben Stokes does nowadays with the old ball types, like just going wide of the angle.
Brilliant wrist position. I think his wrist position and Bhuvneshwar Kumar's wrist position, fantastic.
No, what was Srishant's claim to fame? Was it that one ball he got Sachin with an absolute perler, or did he create?
And then he sledged him as well. Sachin like, beta, mere saath mat karna kabhi.
So there was this. He bowled quite well in that 2006 Test in Joburg, where he also hit Andre Nel for a 6.
Yeah.
Because that was India's first Test victory in South Africa. And then later on, I think it was 2010. Then he got Callis out with a slaughter.
That was the best ball he's bowled.
That was Cape Town, right?
Yeah.
Durban.
Oh, Durban.
Cape Town was a draw. Cape Town was a draw in that series.
But, is this a moment? No, he's not. So India 200 for 5, 18 up, and Suryakumar Yadav 99 of 44. Yes, you heard me right. 99 of 44. That's pretty much 7.2 overs. Indian Peter Pan going on to say Mohammad Asif and Srishant both could have had great careers, but for we know for sure. So even 230 seems a little far off right now, unless Sky goes mad. 99 of 44 will be praising this. And like Gurkirat said earlier, now he'll have the most amount of hundreds. Barring Rohit Sharma for an Indian. Yeah.
For an Indian. Overall, I think...
Gale? Oh, no, Gale doesn't have that many T20 international, right? Martin Guptill?
I'm thinking of Guptill. I think Sterling also have...
Colin Munro?
Sterling can be hundreds, if I'm not wrong. Maybe a good time to have Anirudh.
Anirudh, tell us the most T20 international tons. I know Rohit Sharma is there. I know Guptill
Butler would have.
Butler would be there. That's a good shout as well. So here we go. He's on 99, he gets 100. I mean, he couldn't have asked for an easier ball. And it's the third in, the last 6 months? The first of 2023.
Rohit Sharma's top 4.
And honestly, take a bow, Suryakumar Yadav. You've absolutely played another gem. 100 of 45 balls. Sorry, guys, is this his quickest T20 international ton?
Maybe.
I think it should be. Or if it's all like... there and thereabouts, it must be mad. 46, 47. So most T20 international centuries among full members. Rohit Sharma 4 and 140 innings. Then Suryakumar Yadav, which is his 43rd innings, by the way, to date. And then Colin Munro, 3 of 62 innings. And not to forget, Glenn Maxwell, 3 in 90.
I think Butler has 2.
Yeah, I think Butler and Gale have more T20 hundreds, but maybe fall short.
Wide.
Is it a wide? It is a wide.
It is a wide.
J. Madan Gopal not refusing to do some exercise. 202 for 5 then, Gurkirat. I just want to quickly get 2 sentences from you and Somesh about Sky's third ton. This will be a clip for social media.
I mean, I'm just looking at some numbers over here. 3 centuries, 13 half centuries in 43 innings while having a career strike rate of 180. A career strike rate of... Okay, another 4. A career strike rate of 180 basically says that that Surya's run rate, he's scoring 10.8 runs and over in every T20I game, and he's being quite consistent because he's averaging 46 while doing that. I mean, this peak is something else, and I don't think this peak would be matched. And this is not just for T20s. I think even if you look at all formats, this kind of peak and domination and batting is something which is very, very rare to see. I mean, it's just outstanding whichever way you put it. I mean, while doing that, he has some 141 fours and 91 sixes. That is basically 232 boundaries in 869 balls, roughly scoring a boundary in under 4 deliveries. He's basically scoring 4 boundaries in every 2 overs, which is insane.
Yeah, it's madness. I think Kevin Abbas going on to say he's become the GOAT in T20s. So my question to you is, we talk about intent, but no matter how much intent you might have, you have to have the skill to back it up. And this boy has that in abundance.
I think the biggest ingredient in Sky's armory is how relaxed he is. That is what I love about him the most. And it's not a fake smile that he puts on कि हाँ भाई मेरे को character maintain करना है, but he just seems relaxed.
Yeah.
And this is where the fear of failure sort of goes away. He's not taking himself very seriously. He obviously he's worked so hard. He's not a rookie. He has been in the first class circuit across formats for many years. He knows his game. Everyone knew the shots that he has, but the fact is that he has been so relaxed is the reason he has been so successful. And this is something that we have seen missing from a lot of Indian batters of late who have been struggling. And this is, I mean, you can't just learn Sky's skill overnight, but what you can actually learn from him is how relaxed he is.
Yeah, and he's one of those rare batsmen in international cricket, past or present, who bats literally, like Som said, with a smile on his face, but more importantly with chewing gum in his mouth, because you see that little sort of casual swag that he has to offer, and he does it so beautifully. So Sky, honestly, well done, another ton for you. Meanwhile, Akshar Patel has been taking to this over pretty nicely because he's got his third boundary, and India now 216 for 5 with 1 over left. Akshar 8 ball 20 so far, and Gary's continuing his praise of Suryakumar Yadav, 3 centuries in 43 innings. Gurkirat mentioned a couple of numbers there. Gurkirat, just repeat the amount of sixes he's hit in his T20 international career, please, because 43 innings, that's ridiculous that he's hit double the amount of sixes. So he's going, what, 2 sixes minimum per innings?
Sorry, I lost you in between.
No, I'm saying in terms of his six-hitting prowess, it's like he's already overtaken so many great T20 players who played the game and overtaken their six-hitting count. It's like he'll end up hitting 1,000 sixes. It's like no one else apart from him and Gale will probably be in that category now.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if he turns out to be someone who reaches 100 T20I sixes, in the shortest period in terms of innings, because KL Rahul in 68 innings has 99 sixes. Suryakumar Yadav in 43 innings has 91 sixes, and if I'm not wrong, he now has more sixes than Suresh Raina, MS Dhoni, Shikhar Dhawan, Yuvraj Singh. So there are only 3 cricketers who have more sixes than Suryakumar Yadav. Indian cricketers. Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and KL Rahul. So he has more sixes than Yuvraj Singh, more boundaries than Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj Singh had 77 fours. Suryakumar Yadav has 141.
So sorry, Gurki, I just add another 6 to that because the numbers will only keep increasing. Another 6 for Surya. And this time it's like, it's a short ball which deserved to be put away, but it's almost like a computer game, dude. Like it's just getting out of hand now.
Yeah. Suresh Raina has 58 sixes. Surya has 92, and he's overtaken the boundary count of MS Dhoni as well, both in terms of fours and sixes. Getting past Shikhar Dhawan will take a little time in terms of number of fours because he has 191 boundaries, but it just shows that this peak is something else. It's unreal.
It's unreal, and it's cricket folklore, like I think one of the comments said earlier. And we were right because Suryakumar Yadav did register his fastest T20 international ton today, even though he's got 2 others. And the fastest, like you saw, was Rohit Sharma, 35 balls. What was Rohit on that day? Ecstasy, MD? I didn't know, but like that's like that's David Miller against Bangladesh levels. 30 ball 100 or whatever. Right, 3 balls to go, guys. 222 for 5. I love how lots of guys in the comments has got it right in terms of their predictions. Greg called it earlier. Gary called it as well. Indian Peter Pan has called it. So all you guys, kudos, big thumbs up. And hopefully we can create a game out of this and give you guys some goodies to reward you.
I like the fact how Akshar has finished here. I mean,
I
8
love
balls,
it. 8 ball 20
runs,
brilliant.
4 boundaries.
I mean, you look at Akshar's batting numbers this series, it'll be Gale-esque.
Not just this series, but since the beginning of 2022, he was good for Delhi with the bat, even in IPL 2022.
Yeah. What's the record for the highest number of sixes in T20 internationals? I'm guessing it's either Gale or AB. Internationals. Still, Gale would have played for like 8-9 years, 10 years.
Don't think so.
2007 and then ended in 2016.
But itne bhi us period mein.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Anirudh, if you can tell us, Statsman, Akshay slightly doing his thing at the other end. He is. So last ball, Surya on strike.
Sixes is Rohit Sharma's record, 182. He has the highest T20I sixes. Gale has 124.
Yeah, but it's also because Rohit has played 140 matches, so understandable.
And Gale, on the other hand, from 2006 to 2021, has only played 79 T20Is. He really didn't play. He really didn't play as much for West Indies, which he could have.
And Surya finishes off with a flourish. It's been an absolute batting masterclass, to say the least, from Surya Kumar Yadav. 112-51. It might just look like a joke to you, but he's made it look like a joke out there in Rajkot tonight. Sri Lankan bowlers, head scratching. They're all in awe of Surya Kumar Yadav as he walks off the field. India 228 for 5. Som, have India already won the match?
Can't say that because Sri Lanka touched 200 in the last game as well. This is much better pitch.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, and then we have... and then there were 4.
And then there were 4. Nikhil, enjoying your time with all your fantasy points, I'm guessing. You have not seen you, my friend, since the World Cup. So, Happy New Year to you from my side. And secondly, sum up what you've seen in the last, hour and a half.
Sky's the limit. If that's... I think we are soon going to run out of adjectives to call what we see from Sky, because the kind of consistency he's showing, playing shots that they don't come off. You've seen how Deepak Hooda, Hardik Pandya, everybody else has tried to hit. Gill was playing a different format maybe, but it hasn't come off for them. But the ease with which he's found the gap, he's able to hit wherever he wants to. You don't do it very often. So I think this is probably one of the best T20 phases that I've seen of a player batting at this strike rate. We've seen a lot of players score a lot of runs, but I don't know how many of them have done it at this strike rate.
Okay, let me just be a very stereotypical Indian news anchor right now and ask y'all, should he be led into other formats? If he keeps doing these things, guys, he's hitting hundreds of runs. Nikhil, he's hit 3 T20 international hundreds, dude, come on.
पहले ये बता तुम्हें humanity है कि नहीं?
Humanity hai, right? What do you mean? No, but okay, jokes apart, guys. Will he get a reckoning now? Or should he?
He shouldn't.
But if he keeps doing this...
I mean, actually, I was thinking of a question that we were asked earlier, that who should be India's top 3 in ODIs when Rohit and Dhawan is already gone and Kohli also goes out. This is where I'll play him. Maybe Sky. After 2023 World Cup, when Kohli goes out, that is when you can probably try Sky for ODI.
So no matter what he's going to do...
Let's not do it. Let's not do it.
Not tests.
Yeah.
But no matter what he does in these T20s this year, in the build-up to the World Cup, has a mad IPL, wouldn't you be tempted him? Or
obviously, temptation is already there. That's why he's played those few ODIs as well. Otherwise, there was no reason, because already the the ODI bench, so to speak, or the player pool, so to speak, is already big enough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just going to add one more headache to it.
And plus, where would he get in? Kohli's going to be bat at 3, Shreyas
at 4, and then you need a keeper as well. So KL then have to be
and then Hardik.
5. Yeah.
So 3, 4, 5, 6 is pretty much
It's just a headache. It's just an additional headache, but Indian team doesn't need, because ultimately it's a team sport.
Yeah, it's a team sport. So look, Sky again doing himself a world of good. Gurkiyat, what are your thoughts about this? I know you don't like seeing players being mixed around formats. Case in point, Shubman Gill. But Surya Kumar Yadav, you can't ignore performances like these.
So the reason he's like Sumesh mentioned, he's in the ODI squad because these performances can't be ignored. But in test matches, I don't know. I mean, where is the spot? You already have a few players waiting in the wings, and I don't know. I mean, sometimes I just fear that if you blood him in test matches, he might stop batting freely. And just bring a bit of a responsibility in his game. I don't want that to happen. I mean, if you are desperately looking for someone who can hit spin, or who you need someone, if you want to play someone on pitches where it could become a bowl out contest between 2 teams who have a great spin attack, then sure, makes sense to play him. But I don't think you'll face such situations where it would be a bowl out between teams who have equally good spin bowling attacks. So on that front, I don't think that he's needed in tests. Let him dominate this format, and then there's also the factor of fatigue. I don't think it is possible for anyone to consistently play all three formats. You don't want to prioritize Surya Kumar Yadav playing in test matches and then him getting tired or fatigued and then losing his touch in the format he's been so good. So might as well wait and see, because at this point of time there's anyway a traffic jam. If you think about it, if you look at the number of players that are there in the wings. And one thing that I think that the BCCI and the selectors have done well is that they've already shortlisted 20 players, and from those 20 players they'll come down to select those 15, because I thought maybe there was just too many of new players being blood in, and then them getting left out without many chances. That happened with Ruturaj in ODIs.
Yeah.
So I like the fact. This is why I said I like the fact that India, even in that third ODI against Bangladesh, did not fall for the temptation of giving a Rajat Paidar or a Rahul Tripathi a game. Because if they would have done that, then there would have been one more player in the mix, and you can't say for sure that player would have gotten their chances. So might as well make a player pool, especially for the ODIs, because the World Cups is not too far. Have a set of, maybe you can move that number from 20 to 22. I don't know, but just stick with those players, because not necessarily blooding in players all the time is going to help. Sometimes some players are ready, and then it can lead to a lot of confusion as well.
Yeah, actually, if you think about it, KL Rahul could have been a Surya Kumar Yadav if not for the temptation to be a three-format player.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with him as well, the fluctuations in his efficiency across formats has varied. He started off as a test player, scored a ton in Australia in just his second test, and then 2016 onwards focused more on his white ball game. Then around 2018, he was scoring like the fastest IPL 50s. Then again, sort of became that anchor. Then went back with his friends outside Bangalore for that, getting back into the India's test side, and now he's sort of in the middle of nowhere. And we don't want Sky to be the next KL Rahul, so to speak.
Correct. And KL Rahul is not like become to the twilight of his career where he needs to really mature and buckle down and play a different sort of game. Let him just go back to what worked for him in 2018, like you said, where he was just blitzing bowlers.
That's a separate story, yeah.
Let's, of course, bleed in a little pitch map right now in terms of Surya Kumar Yadav's carnage out there earlier, if you guys missed it. Now, as you can see, all the ones which he carved or caressed or chummuched for six is in red. And it's in various lengths. So whether it's a full toss or it's in the slot or a Yorker as well, he has the innate ability to kind of just play it behind the way, which is quite remarkable.
Mad graphic.
It's
a mad graphic. He's a strike rate of 180 plus against all lengths.
But just think about, like, even in terms of whether it's wide to him or whether it's at him, he's just finding ways to make bowlers look silly.
This is like a legendary level graphic, in my opinion.
So only 6 dot balls. Only 6. And one of them, I don't know why one of them isn't a wide, because...
Yeah, probably it is. It's counted as a dot ball for him, maybe.
No, I think that was given a wide by Madan Gopal. I think that was the last one. The black dot that you can see on the left corner on the 6 meter mark, that's definitely a wide. But even the ones that he's been able to work off, which is quite ridiculous. I know he played a couple of ramps and the chamatches, but the one that really sticks to the eye is the one that he played over third man, where it was pretty much a Yorker length.
Yeah, I mean, the two red dots on the far left.
Yeah, and the one below that.
One of them. Yeah,
that's madness, bro.
How do you hit that?
How do you hit that?
Like, ask him if I would have been in his place.
Is it like we'll just take the graphic off? So we're just trying to figure out how he gets his hands in that position. Hardik Pandya is looking a little dodgy there, so he's
resting.
Had too much medicine already. But yeah, just appreciate that. And Gurkiat's taken a small breather. But I want to ask Nikhil, of course, about the two other right-handers who didn't, of course, go berserk like Sky did, but they played their own knocks in contrasting styles. Rahul Tripathi, 16 ball 35, and not to forget Shubman Gill, who's playing fifth place after 2 failures in the earlier games. Talk to me about Rahul Tripathi first, because how excited are you to see him in the T20 scheme of things? And B, do you think India should play him in every T20 this year because it's not a mega year, and grow his confidence game by game?
Yes, was glad that he got good enough games to begin with. Now, hopefully, as you rightly said, You don't want him to be, which is why what Gokul said was right. You do not want to give a partner of Tripathi and give him an ODI format and tell him that it will be there also. It's better to keep him for this format because we saw what he did in the power play, and that is what he's been doing in the IPL for enough time now. He's played such knocks where he's free to use his feet. I don't remember the last Indian player, opener or a batter who's actually used his feet, to pace in the power play. So he's making the pace for himself, which is very good to see, and he's getting those hits away, and hopefully he can build on this. For Gill, I don't think he should be in this format. No clue why he's here, but he's here. He's got 3 games. I think that's enough. He's better player of the ODI format, and with the World Cup around, I would rather have him play all the ODIs than play the shortest format of the game.
Mm-hmm. And not to forget, I think Gill will play a few tests in the middle as well. So why again have that 3 format thing going where fatigue will creep in? It's a World Cup year. I think he walks ahead of Ishan Kishan in my ODI 11 at least. So, I mean, chill Corona, yaar. You are playing one format. Try and succeed in that. Try and win some trophies in that format.
Yeah.
Why do you have to become 3 formats?
And the thing is, now it sends a wrong message to someone like Gaikwad as well, because Shubman Gill, if he's not picked in the New Zealand T20 series, then you're just like, oh, you're going back to Gaikwad. So why did you make that move initially? Look, Hardik Pandya has the ball in hand. India are going to go about their business of defending 229. Som said earlier that it's not done yet because it's a good batting track, and I agree with him. And they did show the last time around that they could score 200 as well. So Hardik bowling the first ball. And straight away a wicket. It is an in-swinger from Hardik Pandya and Pritham Nissanka. He's like, what's happened there, lads? Is that hitting?
Talking about Gill not fit for this format, I don't know why Pritham Nissanka is playing this format for Sri Lanka, to be very honest. His power play strike rate, career strike rate power play is around 101.
Oh my God. That is a cause for concern, a cause for crisis, some would say. Now, they reviewed it. Initially, it looked out. It could be an umpire's call decision. Madan Gopal, of course, giving it in India's favour. So the original decision is out. So what's your gut feel? Drifting down leg?
I think umpire's call.
Umpire's call. Nikhil, you think it's out this one?
Should be that. Interestingly, Hardik opted to bat first because he expected swing under lights.
Okay.
And
a beautiful ball that to start off.
Marginally missing? I don't know.
Dude, I honestly don't know. Like, it looked out initially. It might just be doing a little extra, but we'll wait and see. Definitely no bat in that. So, yeah, India might have the perfect start. Or Ravi Shastri, how he would say, just what the doctor ordered. But look, 228 is always going to be a mountain to climb. So I guess it'll still come down to Shanaka, Hasaranga, Rajpaksa, and all of those guys. They'll need one guy to bat through. I know they've got in Avishka Fernando for this game. So let's see how he takes to things once he gets his turn out there. Missing leg stump, says Subhash Chandra Bharata. We haven't seen it yet. I don't know if you're watching on some other stream which tells you that, Subhash. But time will tell now. It's missing, lad. It's missing. Well done, Subhash. If that was a guess. Or if you're 10 seconds above. And you're on the bookie radio. Be like, no, down leg side, down leg side. RTK session kitna hai? 126. But yeah, so it looked plumb. Was it a beast? Pritham Nissanka survives.
Blessing in disguise for India.
Blessing in disguise for him to approve his career strike rate in the power plays, which Som's not happy about. Sanjay Bhatti, Sarvanan, good to hear from you this evening, sir. Next series against New Zealand, India should open with Tripathi, and Ishan, following with Deepak Hooda, Surya, Samson, Pandya.
Actually, not a bad option. Tripathi has opened in the past.
But only one lefty, that doesn't matter.
वो तो वैसे भी है ही ना अभी भी तो it's the same thing. Aksar at 7.
Yeah, I think India's T20 batsmen are just.
And Hooda is more suited at 3, I feel.
Yeah. I think they're probably wasting him so much down the order because they're not even getting him to bowl anything. So,
if he would have bowled, probably would have made sense कि भाई चलो bowler है ये अभी तो क्या है कि कुछ भी नहीं करने को मिल रहा है.
He's not bowled a single over the series, right?
Yeah, he's not.
Wow.
Might come on to bowl today, who knows?
आज तो और भी नहीं होगा क्योंकि राजापक्सा भी नहीं हो. There's only one left-hander in Sri Lanka's top 7. Top 8 in fact.
Yeah, but that logic they could have actually played.
Top 8 के 11 में कोई और left-hander है ही नहीं ऐसा.
Who, Rajpaksa?
Sri Lanka is the only lefty.
2 lefties.
Imagine Sri Lanka is falling short of lefties.
Yeah, what is happening? The world is changing. No, but it makes you think about how I was asking these guys up in terms of left-handers and right-handers and stuff like that. India would never be a team to pick more matchup players. They would just be like, no, this is our best time, we're going with it. And then during the game, they'll figure that shit out. But England and Australia and stuff, they'll be like, before the game itself.
We can say India has never been. We can't say India will never be. We never know.
True.
Yeah. After a few decades, maybe, once we are out of that conservative mindset that this is the right way to play cricket, and it's okay to adapt to that. So I think India.
Once after many legends retire without a trophy as captain or coach, then maybe.
Too many shots fired. But I think fairly too, because I think India at times played matchup more in other formats than in the format that they should. But anyway, can't control that much. Is that out? No.
Chipped in the air and Sri Lanka get their first boundary, guys. And Kusal Mendes it is. I was just thinking whether this is a subtlety in T20 cricket right now. First over bowlers is Hardik one of those, like Maxwell, Hardik, Stokes.
He's trying to be. He's bowling a lot fuller, so that's why it's swinging.
I think in this first game, did he bowl the first 3 on the trot?
Yeah, and then 2 in the next.
Yeah.
See, the point is, India have Umran Malik at the moment, who's predominantly a middle-over enforcer.
But Hardik doesn't have to bowl, right? Or does he have?
He's the 6th bowler on paper.
So Hardik's sticking to his strengths in terms of swing because, like Som and the boys have said it multiple times, generally when you see him bowl in the middle or right after the power play, he just is back of the length. So here he at least has that chance to throw it up there.
But Nikhil, I want to know your thoughts about Yuzvendra Chahal, because in my opinion, even when Mavi scored those runs, I felt that India were a batter shot. In the 11, Aksar at 7, although he's done well with the bat, it still, you need someone at 8 as well for a cushion. Could India have played Sundar ahead of Chahal in this entire series?
Yeah, I expected them to do that, to be very honest, right from the first game. But I think they still want to give Chahal. But the issue with Chahal to me is they are picking him, but they're not backing him enough, which I find very surprising, because if you're playing someone and you're not giving him enough chances, what is the point of picking the guy? You would rather pick somebody else or try and groom somebody else for that role. So again, just like many of the other selections that have happened in the recent times, this is another such down that alley where you're not quite sure what you're trying to achieve, because again, Sundar is not someone who will bowl only post power play, and he can bowl to right-handed batters as well in the power play. It's not a matchup bit that he can't bowl to the right-handers. So again, it's very surprising to see, but he's got all 3 games. Very keen to see if he gets all 4 overs here today, because again, bigger ground, he should do well.
No, but that's a strange thing with Chahal, right? So he'll get picked part of the squad because he's a wrist spinner, and wrist spinners are so important. But he won't get into the 11 in big tournaments because he can't bat.
No, right? I don't think he did not get into the 11 because he can't bat. He got into the 11 because the other 2 just India wanted to feel like they had batting. So
no, true. I'm saying from a World Cup lens as well. We didn't play him, and we played Akshar and Ashwin because they were just more proven with the bat.
But Chahal also did not take enough wickets leading up to it. I think he had a good start to the IPL, and then it tapered off a bit. Had he been consistently taking wickets, India wouldn't have gone back to Ashwin, is what I felt. But because he wasn't taking the wickets and also giving away a lot of runs, India felt we might as well use somebody who can give us some control and then also contribute with the bat. So I think that was the logic there. So with Chahal, I think it's important.
So basically, they would have seen it.
I think that plus the issue of they wanted someone to bat at 8 as well. Because Bumrah was not there, they were not...
and plus no Harshal Patel.
So because Bumrah was not there, they were not very confident with going in Harshal Patel.
Yeah.
If Harshal Patel would have been there, then probably they would have picked Chahal ahead of Ashwin.
Yeah. And even Akshar maybe might.
And at the end of the day, that decision proved sort of right, because Ashwin's batting proved important.
That is true. Yeah. Everyone's kind of looking at the no balls here, and they're going for the predictions also. Babu Rao going to say number predicted no balls by India today. They bowled a total of 7 the last time around. Arshdeep bowled 5. It'll be interesting to see how many Arshdeep has bowled in his career. We could probably
already discussed it in the last game.
How many has he bowled in his career?
I think he bowled the most no balls for any cricketer in the last year, and he bowled 5 in this year already. So I think a total of 13 no balls in his career so far.
I'm surely thinking there's a reason behind that. I mean, a technical reason. Nikhil, Som, can you put a finger on it? Why a bowler would overstep so many times more often than not?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen this tendency in a few bowlers. Arshdeep, Rabada, Stokes.
Stark
Not really.
Not that much.
The amount of bowling that he does, I don't think so. He's 14 no balls.
14 no balls.
Arshdeep. So 9 in the previous year and 5 in the last game.
That is crazy.
He bowled 5 or more?
5.
India
bowled a total of 7.
Yeah.
Oh, nearly a wicket over there. Again, Nissanka just copying KL Rahul and how he plays his business over there. But Nikhil, who is your captain and vice captain today in fantasy? I can't not ask you that. I hope you know that.
Yeah, of course it is Surya and Hardik.
Surya and Hardik. Okay, Hardik, unlucky not to give you the wicket. But even with he got 4 of 4 today or something like that?
Yeah, he did, but he didn't get much to get off with the bat. I think Hardik is bowled. He's bowled better. Even in the first game, I thought that he bowled well, and Shivam benefited out of the pressure created at times by the bowling of Hardik. But that's fine. You can't.
It's still no slip, and that's 4. Chachan saying let's relax it a little bit. I think let's figure out how many extras will Arshdeep bowl today, which is piss-taking. But yeah.
I think India
that's his only blemish. Otherwise, honestly, he can bowl every delivery, can bowl in every phase, has age on his side, bowls pace, can swing the ball.
His death numbers have dipped in recent.
Yeah, but we'll keep saying that in the speed. I mean, I know it's our job to kind of critique.
Yeah,
but I mean,
obviously, you can only work with the pool that you have, and the player pool that India has. Arshdeep is the next after Bumrah, in my opinion.
Yeah, so this is a question that I was hinting towards you, Nikhil, right? That Indian Peter Pan has put out. Is overstepping an attempt to generate pace?
I mean, that can be the only reason,
right? Is it the most logical reason?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but we're not in a position to answer this from a technical perspective.
Yes,
we can only make guesses here. Maybe. Yeah. We've seen it that players do not really stick to the lines when bowling in the nets. They willingly overstep, and this is something I think Anirudh mentioned in the last watch along, that Bharat Arun specifically focused on asking the bowlers to not overstep in the nets as well.
Yeah. I think think about it. I mean, Nikhil, sorry, just to follow up from what he said, I know bowlers are anyway going to be pelted out of most grounds in T20 cricket, but it becomes all the more important to at least bowl legal deliveries, and you don't want to cost your team the extra balls, right? So shouldn't someone be harping this in Arshdeep? I know it's early days, but they'd be like, if I just make sure you don't do this again, you're making the same mistake over and over again.
Yeah, I think with Arshdeep and quite a few bowlers, I feel it's more about rhythm. I don't think Arshdeep played enough games coming into this one. So when you're not bowling enough, you are taking your time to start, and if you're directly getting into a game without enough match practice to back you up, it shows. So I think that is an area definitely that Arshdeep and the team management would have identified, that you can't rush Arshdeep in without enough balls in the nets. It could be in the nets, it could be before the game, wherever you, whichever way you want to put it. But I think that rhythm is what I feel is very critical for any bowler coming into the game. Similarly, like even Shami, I think the reason why at times we call him second innings Shami, because it takes that long to gear up for the second stint.
No, absolutely.
But I think with Arshdeep, I felt Gautam Gambhir was a little too critical. I don't think with Arshdeep it's the case of rhythm, because he bowled the most no balls for all Indian balls in the last year as well, and last year he was in as best a rhythm as possible. So,
but I don't think it is in terms of consistency. In terms of last year, coming into the series, I don't know how much he got into in terms of practice. And because
that's true, but that cannot be a reason for him to be bowling no balls. Yeah. That maybe contributing factor, but that cannot be a predominant reason.
Yeah. It cannot be the only reason for sure.
You can't ask your peak players to just go back and play domestic and then come back. Koi nahi aayega. One good performance of someone else and they'll forget about him.
Yeah. And I think these are just basic fundamentals that bowlers will have to work on and stuff. And I think It'll be interesting.
That over finally got done.
It finally got done. And we'll keep you updated with the score on the ticker below. We might not be that accurate in terms of speed, but we'll also commentate as we go along.
We will be accurate. We won't be that quick.
Yeah.
Is that a wide? Another extra?
No. I sense a wicket here. If Hardik can stick to good length.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I think Kusal was very lucky. Kusal was very lucky in the last game.
So look at India and Series deciders, 3+ match T20 bilaterals. Just lost none, basically.
At home, they've lost none.
Yeah.
Abroad, it'll be interesting to see. Srivatsan going on to say, we really don't utilize players when they're at the peak of their past to win stuff.
Srivatsan returning after a while.
Yeah, where have you been, Srivatsan? A New Year trip around the corner? Pulled away just about for 6. And Chris Hill would like a little bit of that. Kusal Mendis. So Sri Lanka off to a fly despite just 6 in their first over.
Nikhil, I can guess that you would have followed a bit of LPL as well.
Yeah.
Anyone comes to mind who can probably replace Petum Nisanka as Sri Lanka's opener, who has a lot more intent than he does?
I'm not sure about more intent, but Sadar Vikrama is someone I feel could have come in. And again with Avishka as well, I feel they can definitely open
with him. Has the ship sailed on Kushal Pereira?
I think it's the shoulder has sailed. I don't know about the ship.
Oh, okay. The shoulder sailed. And another 6. Another 6, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Because Sadara Vikrama, we did touch upon him.
He's another right-hander, though.
Is he a lefty, I guess? He sounds like a lefty.
Sadara Vikrama. Sounds like a lefty.
Now you put me down, but I felt Avishka is a decent option to directly start. Up top, I don't know why they bat him in the
middle. Because Avishka, I remember 2019 World Cup, he was opening.
Yes, Peter Nisanka looks really timid, bro.
Yeah,
for a while. He looks like a right-handed Jehan Mubarak. You know what I mean? Like one of those old Sri Lanka players who just lacked any sort of gusto, vigor, industry, nothing. Just chalna.
Martin Vendot.
Yeah, one of those.
Martin Vendot. That you have too many of those from Sri Lanka in that sense.
Martin
and again,
Vendot.
Vikrama is also righty, confirmed. So I think they could also use DDS. Now again, I don't know. I might be taking too much of a punt there, but I think
DDS where does DDS normally bat for them? 1 down.
Sorry, where
no. I mean, he batted 1 down during the World Cup and Asia Cup, but in this series, he's batted at 4 or 5.
Yeah. And now with Avishka, he's going to bat even
one
further
more thing that I feel Sri Lanka can probably try is looking at how Hasaranga has been good in ODIs but not good in T20s.
Yeah.
Probably there is a case of promoting someone like him because in T20s he doesn't get a lot of balls and he's not a proper tail ender or a finisher who can just whack the ball from ball 1. Maybe bat where he can take 4-5 balls and then probably
so like how Pakistan used Shadab.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pakistan used Shadab.
It won't hurt them with this batting lineup. It won't hurt them at all.
No, that's true. Yeah. But they're reliant on that 5, 6, 7. I feel Shanaka, Hasaranga, and then at 5 Rajpaksa. So they just rely on those 3 to give them the power and the firepower and do all the heavy lifting. Even if you look at who will come in next, you're guessing Avishka Fernando, then Asalanka, and then you're into those 3.
And then DDS.
Oh, and then DDS.
And then Shanaka, and then Asalanka.
And Rajpaksa.
Rajpaksa is out. That's why Avishka Fernando came in.
Oh,
and then
okay.
you have Chamika Karunaratne at 9, at 8, 9. Yeah,
I think if it wasn't for Chamika Karunaratne's brain fade in that first T20, Sri Lanka could have already been unassailable 2-0 lead in this T20 series. But it's good. BCCI always get their money's worth. I'm surprised they're not playing on a Sunday after a while.
भाई ऐसा सब मत बोलो एशिया कप में इंडिया फाइनल में भी नहीं बोलते थे सब ये बोलते हैं कि हाँ भाई बीसीसीआई डिसाइड कर रहा है स्क्रिप्ट ये बोल के 10 साल तक ट्रॉफी भी नहीं आई है
No, BCCI would do one thing, right? To get as many weekend matches.
वो ठीक है वो तो प्लान ही वैसा है कि वीकेंड पे तो मैच रखा ही है ना हर वीकेंड पे मैच है तो कभी ना कभी तो चांस बनेगा ही ना कि अच्छा मैच होगा वीकेंड
What were you saying, Nikhil? Sorry?
I'm saying life has come full circle from saying that we'll field 2 teams and still win, but we're not even winning with 1. Forget 2.
We'll put 3 teams and win, but we'll have to play a challenger trophy between India and ABC.
Yeah.
Seriously. Chachan saying if we lose, it'll be actually because Gill's innings that will cost the game and not the bowler, since Dew will play a role. But don't think he'll lose.
पहले से ही batters को blame करने का script लिखना चालू कर दो.
The only way we can lose
bowlers
this
should
game,
be defending this. It's fine.
Yeah, for sure. The only way we can lose this game is like what Shanaka did against Australia, and he chased down like some 59 in 3 overs, something like that. But and if Sri Lanka just go mad from word go, he might not get 4. He does.
It's
That's
very
the
interesting to
worst.
see.
That's the
Everybody
worst
started
bowler.
very full. I mean, Hardik started very full. Arshdeep started very full. No swing, still got hit.
भाई मावी को
is
पहले
also-
पहले T20 में सारे विकेट्स फुल पे ही मिले थे. सारे मारने वाली बॉल थी. वो मिल गए विकेट्स बस.
But Shiva Mavi's
एक वो बोल्ड छोड़ के, that was a
yeah, Shiva Mavi's T20 international career is that phrase that Gurkirat keeps saying. It's a fickle game. 4 for 22 in his first game, and then none for 53. I mean, today might be a different case altogether. But what is his strength as a bowler, Nikhil? We were trying to put a finger on it earlier. Is he a hit the deck bowler, kiss the deck bowler, enforcer, new ball specialist?
Fuck the deck.
I think he's India's first entrant to Jazba Junoon kind of bowling. Where I think I summed it up. I would not want to spoil it more.
No, top on that.
क्या है ingredient? जज्बा और जुनून.
Jazba and Junoon.
Yeah.
Oh God. 140
Very,
plus, though, not bad. So he can bowl faster than Bhuvi, Shardul, Deepak Chahar. So he's not in that category.
Yeah. He was 140 since his under 19 days.
And then he falls under that category of bowlers who can bat, pacers who can bat, like Chahar, Shardul.
It will take a few more performances for me to actually call him someone who can bat, a bowler who can bat.
So apparently the last time I wasn't there in the Watchalong, you guys were having a mad debate about who's a better batsman or batter, sorry, Shivam Mavi or Navdeep Saini.
I think after that game, it looks like Mavi. But yeah,
but
that day we did discuss that. Saini hai abhi bhai, aisa kya?
I think it is very rare to see an Indian pacer hit sixes. I don't remember the last guy who could hit sixes like Shivam Mavi did in the last game.
Javagal Srinath.
Exactly. So you have to go so far back. That's what I was getting.
Ajit Agarkar.
Umesh Yadav.
Agarkar definitely. Agarkar is a proper, I think.
Umesh Yadav?
Umesh Yadav can hit spin, but I don't think pace.
Yeah, because I can't recollect anyone who's hit pace that well.
Shami?
That was
again spin, off spin. I think obviously सब बोलेंगे कि वो Lord, but
Bumrah
consistent.
World record by Broad को मारा
हाँ भाई ठीक है.
different format.
Not worried about. Shivatsan saying, for God's sake, how are we struggling and worrying of losing to Sri Lanka at home? No disrespect. Bro, we lost to them in the Asia Cup. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Technically playing the Asian champions.
Yep.
Yeah. I think
we dubbed it as that, right? Asian champions against the bilateral BAPs.
Yeah.
Which is India,
That's
sadly.
Pretty fair assessment. I think India, it is very, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I think this is the one series where it looks very strange to see this level playing. Now, I watch a lot of cricket, and trust me, I do watch a lot of cricket. But there is still,
trust you.
But I just don't get the vibe, of this as a unit, as a unit for a T20 format game going forward. It feels almost half-hearted के आधे change करते हैं, आधे change नहीं करते हैं. Let's still try a few players out, which I don't know. It feels neither here, neither there. You're not going anywhere with the selection.
Bowling attack for sure. Bowling attack, I mean,
but that's also expected, no guys. They're always going to put their eggs in the ODI basket this year. And T20, jo hoga. That's what they did last time also. Like ODIs, they're making Dhawan captain. Everyone got the ODI debuts.
I mean, agar wo bhi karna hai, to bhi, like for example, someone like a Mohammad Siraj. He's not your sure shot player for the ODI World Cup as of now. He's definitely in contention for both ODIs and T20. So why not have him? Why not have him here? I mean, why is not Mohammad Siraj not here? I mean, it's beyond me.
So instead of Shivam Mavi,
obviously, yeah. I mean, at least in this 11 for sure. But
maybe they've recognized Mohammad Siraj as a 15 in the ODI World Cup. Maybe not the 11, but 15. And let's see how that goes, because I think they still want, like Nick said, that they want to just bleed in a few guys. I'm happy that Rahul Tripathi got the nod. I know he had to get the nod only after Sanju Samson went out, and they couldn't obviously play. Who's Sanju Samson's replacement?
Jitesh Sharma.
Jitesh. So obviously they're not going to bleed in Jitesh before Rahul Tripathi. That would have just been... Rahul Tripathi should have just resigned as a cricketer, if that happened.
A few people actually mentioned that they should play Ruturaj Gaikwad ahead of Tripathi because of some pecking order. कौन सा pecking order है भाई ये?
Yeah, it's beyond belief. Jay Mumaya, hello Nick. Bye. We keep trying.
Jay's
your big fan, right? Yeah. Like hello Somisa. Somisa किधर है?
But Jay has promised us a meal whenever we are in Mumbai.
Oh yeah, Jay.
Jay, memory बहुत अच्छी. You don't forget anything.
Jay, we can't see your image, but I'm guessing you're wearing some bandgala with some Diwali vibes in your YouTube picture. Good on you. Tell a friend, Jay. Tell all your friends to subscribe. Please, and like this video if you think Rahul Tripathi should be playing more T20 international cricket. Subhash Chandra Bharata, SCB.
Get
the SCB with the SCB. Imagine Suryakumar Yadav debuted 6 years ago. Would he be as good or as a debut of Ace 30 worked in his favor?
I think India's T20 unit works like Australia's Test match unit. Whoever is debuting after 30 is like delivering.
Yeah, they had this phase, right? Where
they still do.
Oh, above his head for 4. Above his head for 4. So if you guys were wondering what I was owing about, Akshar Patel's come in. It's 43 for none. Sri Lanka still going mad. India's power play score was how much? 53 for 2 or something like that. 54. 54 for 2. Yeah. Sri Lanka keeping their wickets. They're not batting light because they have Kararatne, like Som said, who comes in at 8 or something for them. So India need to get some breakthroughs, guys. Well, they nearly had the first ball. If you guys missed that, you missed that. It went down the leg side. So, yeah, keep the comments coming through. We're here till about 10:30 or whenever this game kind of gets over. It's a Saturday night. You guys can watch this and then go out partying. Maybe you guys can also ask Nick who should be fantasy picks for the one-day internationals because he'll give you all the gyan that you need. All the big boys are back, no, Nick? So will you go obvious with the Kohlis, Rohits and stuff? Or would you be like, nah. I'm going to pick on 4. Oh, is this
There's
out?
A wicket for you.
Oh, they got the wicket. They got the wicket.
See, this is what happens, right? If you're chasing 230 and a guy along with you is on 14 ball 15, you have to try to hit the boundary of every ball.
Yeah. And Kushal Mendes trying to be there, Rahul Tripathi and Nissanka being their Gill.
I mean, it just pins me when teams pick such players who are like, I mean, just power play में 100 के strike rate से कौन खेलता है यार? क्या भाई power play में मारना है?
Oh God!
And also when you have a deep batting lineup, it's not that the batting lineup is very thin. You have enough batters to follow who can bat at a good rate as well.
True.
So
no, but okay, fine, guys. Here's like a joke / question. We talk about what pins Som in terms of all these batsmen are so bloody timid. So you think of KL Rahul, Kane Williamson, Bavuma, Nissanka, maybe a Babar is what some would say. Gill. Who is the bop of slow batters in modern day T20 cricket? Who's the bop? Is it Kane Williamson?
See, I think very harsh, but bop of being shameless is Kane Williamson. Honestly, it's like उसके बाद भी मतलब कैप्टनसी छोड़ी भी तो टेस्ट की क्योंकि मुझे भाई तुम T20 प्लेयर ही नहीं हो. Why are you playing T20s, dude?
Nick, you agree? As funny as that sounds, surely it's true, right?
Can't disagree there. There are quite a few international captains.
He was playing forward defense, leaves, He was the only balls he was hitting for 6 were bouncers to his body because you can't defend it. क्या करोगे मार दो. अगर उस पर डिफेंस ऑप्शन होता तो वो भी डिफेंड कर देता. अब वो डक कर रहा था थोड़ा ज्यादा लगता था फिर तो कसम से वहीं पे बोल देते कि भाई तू वापस आ जा डक कर रहा है तू आ जा.
Oh God! Did Williamson get any money in the auction, by the way?
Yeah, Gujarat.
God.
Base price.
Gujarat.
He's an opener. Yeah. I mean, Gill and Kane opening, that could be fun.
No, remember maybe that time when they were doing the trophy photo shoot, Hardik and Kane, in that New Zealand thing, and when that table only flew away, he must have been like, pocket me for Gujarat, please. Please, I'll be better than Gill. I'll be way better than Saha.
Yeah.
But Saha also, like, at least bashed. At least.
Yeah, for Kane, I think he's probably their collapse arrester, if you want to call it that, because Gujarat did have a few games where they lost few very early. So maybe that's what the role for Kane might be. Again, it's very early to say
they still ended the tournament with the best balls per wicket record, best batting average.
But I think that is
GT.
again. I'll be very honest. I don't see that happening again and again with Miller and Tewatia. It's not something that they have been known for in the past. If they can have two very good seasons, hats off to them. But I think teams will also be better prepared. What I think worked for Gujarat last year was people were not prepared for the kind of batting that Gujarat did. And this year, everybody will be more prepared, and they know that we need to get these guys out and not let them risk or say कि अरे एक तो गलत shot आएगा and we'll get them out. So that I think will be a bigger challenge. If they can continue to do that, very good. Kendry is going to probably reduce Hardik's workload with the bat.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at that Gujarat Titans outfit, I mean, they had just performances being pulled out from random people at random times, which just helped them. Tewatia one day, Miller one day, Pandya one day, Gill one day. So it just worked out really well for them. Shubh's trying to create some sort of noise from behind.
I will be back in the next 15 minutes because you wanted a 9:30
I needed a 9:30 break as well. So Som will take his little dinner session, come back. Shubh, how is your Ista shawarma? How's your shawarma?
Oh, lovely. Maybe you can see it.
You can see it. Oh, I thought you spilled a little bit of shawarma sauce, but no. He's showing you the little tummy.
It's all clean.
By the way, Jay Mumaya has spoken about one of your teams. Oh, before that, India have got another wicket, and it is Arshdeep who gets Nisanta, who's played probably the worst innings of the series so far. 17 ball 15.
Yeah. Trying to cancel out Shubman Gill's now.
Shocking, absolutely shocking. So Jay going on a team. By the way, after seeing South Africa performance in Australia, I'm proud of our boys who defeated Australia in Australia. Shubh, of course, as you know, is a South Africa fan. Yeah, Nick, sorry, you were laughing as well. Tell us.
Right man to answer that. I think no
he's the right man to answer that.
And so first of all, when South Africa lose a game or a series, it does not bother me at all because I have zero expectations from them since their ABD, Faf and Amla Stainwala era. Uske baad se, I'm like, if they win, then it's okay. Then I'm happy about it because then of course I'm surprised. It is a pleasant surprise, of course, but when they lose, I'm like, ye to expected tha bhai.
But when they've lost in this manner, at least in the last two tests, the first test was pretty tight. The last two tests,
first test was pretty tight because they lost 4 wickets.
Yeah, exactly. The last two tests, I just felt that South Africa, I don't know, they could have.
Well, see, there is this pattern. Whenever teams, the visiting teams, no matter how good a bowling attack they are in their own condition or elsewhere else as well, pacers. I mean, pace bowling in Australia requires a different kind of skill set. In Australia, actually, I don't know what it is. I have not been able to pinpoint it as yet. I read an article from Ian Chappell actually a long back. He said the same thing. You need to have some different kind of skill set as a fast bowler to succeed in Australia because pitches in Melbourne and Sydney are they are not typical pitches for a fast bowler to succeed.
And by day 3 or day 4 or day 2 even sometimes
it flattens out completely. The way Australia bats, I mean the dominance that they carry with the bat in their home conditions,
especially in those first innings big totals.
Exactly, they are just too used to mount runs 500 plus totals and all. So I was actually not expecting much from South Africa, and the series has kind of panned out on an unexpected lines. Having said that, coming back to that Jay's comment, after Australia, the manner in which Australia won the second test, I was actually thinking the same thing. Australia, if you see 3 tests against South Africa, 2 against West Indies, 5 against England, that is 10 test matches. They have been undefeated at home and they have won in a canter as well. So I mean, the kind of dominance that they have in home conditions, considering that the way India defeated them, I mean, it is. I was just thinking the same thing. How did we manage that with our B team, with our C team almost? How did we manage that?
It might be one of those things which we look back in like 40, 50 years to come, if we're around, that is. And we're just thinking to ourselves, back to back.
I was there to see that.
Yeah,
I saw that live. By the way, Nikhil wanted to say something.
Yeah, go on, Nikhil.
Yeah, I think it was the batting. Many touring teams come to Australia and they don't bat out the first 30-40 overs. I think that is something that I feel was the difference in the first win as well, and also in the second win. When you are able to tire Australia out, that's when you start getting those bad balls. I think which is also why a lot of respect has to go to Cheteshwar Pujara, because it is, you ask South Africa, they are not able to last a session without losing a wicket, and India had enough times in Australia where they were rock solid. They were getting hit, it is fine. So I think you need that kind of batting performance, because and I don't think at any time in Australia, if you don't put pressure on Australia, they don't worry, because teams hardly put any pressure on them. So when you do that with the bat, that's when they realize that okay, because bowling is their strength. I feel it's not the batting, it's the bowling which is their strength. It compensates for whatever is happening. Because if you see, Marnus and Head are the only guys apart from Smith, of course, who's had that consistent period of big scores, and that has come because the teams are always chasing the game. Even in the second test that we saw, it was only the Head. It was second or the first test where it was only the Head's knock, counter-attacking batting that set the game very well for the home side, and their bowling is always good. So if you don't counter it, it is never going to be like, okay, I think there's another wicket.
Oh, it could be another wicket here, and it was gone. First ball after the power play is done. I was just going to interlude and say nothing to choose between the two teams, because India were 54 for 2 after the power play, Sri Lanka 51 for 2, but now it becomes 51 for 3. And it's been a ploy that Hardik Pandya has used his whole life, banging him short and find the fielder.
And he can send a message to Mahila that I got Avishka batting at 4. Because it's Mahila's been harping of that sort. Yeah, he's been harping about getting Avishka to bat at 4 for a long time, which is weird, but again, it's not worked today as well.
Yeah, I remember Avishka Fernando weirdly in that 2019 World Cup where he got 100 against West Indies, right? And then he was pulling the likes of O'Shane Thomas and guys like that, which got steep bounce. So I thought Avishka Fernando, out of all Sri Lankan top order players, could play bounce well, but clearly not. Hardik gets another wicket. Just coming back to that conversation that we were having earlier, guys, about all the cricket which is going around. What is a couple of things which stand out for you in 2023 going ahead? Because the viewers obviously are asking as well, what really would you want to watch in the coming months? Is it the new South African T20 League? Is it the Border Gavaskar Trophy? Is it the IPL? What excites you? What are you waiting for this year?
There are a few things I'm interested to see how SA20 goes about, because South Africa, we have known that they have tried to, they have revamped their T20 league structure twice now.
Yeah.
We saw Rap Slam, then Zamzi, and now it is SA20, and now I think this is their best bet now, because they have been able to pull the Indian investors to their market. So it is now or never for South Africa, and their board actually need money as well. They need limelight as well. So I think this SA20 becomes very crucial for them.
Yeah,
that is why I'm interested in that league. Apart from that, Border Gavaskar Trophy, of course.
World Test Championship
as well, but two really big events for me would be ODI World Cup, because again, ODI cricket's relevance depends on how the World Cup goes. If it does not go well, then I think ODI cricket's future is really in danger. Apart from that, I want to see Ashes, because I mean, baseball versus Australia,
and it's in England, it's always
in England as well, and after a long time, we will see Ashes with both teams at their best.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it used to be lopsided most of the time. So after a long time, we will be seeing Australia at their best. Also, England doing quite well as well, with their new approach against Australia. And we know last time when Australia went to England were not able to regain the Ashes. It has been quite a while now.
Correct.
Almost a decade, I guess. Okay, they got it back last time in 2015 at home. So, given all these things, that is why I will say SA20 first of all, because it is starting day after ODI World Cup and the Ashes.
Okay, Nick, you agree with him? Peter Pan going on to see Ashes, IPL, ODI World Cup.
IPL happens every year, so I mean that's why I pushed.
What about the UAE T20? Because there's a lot of cash being splashed there as well.
Yeah, also a lot of cash being played, also a lot of randomness that has come through in this game. Something that I see happening with BBL as well. BPL, so it's every day you feel like a new squad is playing. So
Yeah,
from the fantasy perspective as well, waiting for some sanity, because that's what breeds
yeah,
the game. Of course, I agree with all the picks there. There is also a point about the talk about cricket saturation for a viewer. I think we are very close to that stage, because I don't think the boards realize that it's. I mean, just today to share a post in a BPL in a BPL team, a team is said that they are not going to decide on their captain. The captain is not fixed. It will be decided on a game basis. Now,
Just like what KKR tried to do in 2009.
that is quite
I have some
ridiculous.
very honest opinions which I can't share live. So
Yeah,
yeah, when we
I
meet,
know what you mean.
I'll definitely share those across. But I think that's what we're getting to a time where you can't take the user for granted. They are
Yeah,
not going to watch everything that you tell them that watch this. And again, it is a pet peeve for me that I have to install 100 apps to see 100 tournaments. I don't know how many people are going to do that. So very interested to see how the cricket landscape goes about, because I think after this year is when we'll start seeing lesser tournaments but more meaningful ones, because we've seen enough of player fatigue and everything being talked about. So people will start to choose very specifically, because even T20 is happening a lot. Now there is
Yeah,
a BPL happening, there will be a South Africa T20, there is an Emirates T20 that's going to come along. Who is
BPL.
playing where in what jersey? If somebody like me is finding it, okay, Hales was
Yeah,
playing here today, he's going there tomorrow, then after 2 weeks he'll be here. How are you going to get people to relate to the teams? How are you
exactly.
going to build that culture that, okay, I want this team is mine? So from that perspective, this is what I'm very interested to see how this
Yeah,
year
I think
pans
it's a
out.
very important point that you've hit in the head, and taking off from what Shub said as well, and how we create this loyalty for new fans going into a new decade, or not a new decade, but a new sort of time and period of the gentleman's game. Two more new leagues right now. How will they fare? Will
Yeah.
they end up being Lanka Premier Leagues and the BPLs, or will they actually try to compete with the PSL, the 100, or give the IPL a run for its money? Who knows? And the other thing is, like you said, Nick, I think sometimes you're like, you have to do some research, even if you're just a general fan watching that game, saying, what's like, who's playing today, and who do they have, and who can I watch out for? Even if you just meet random people in the street right now, my friends, some of them have just told me, dude, I only care about Test cricket, and especially when India are playing away and when India are playing in the World Test Championship. Then there are other friends of mine who says, dude, all I care about is RCB
IPL.
in the IPL. No one gives a fuck about anything else. And then there are other friends, basically one friend, which is Shub, who cares about all the cricket in the world because it's his job,
I'm not
and he
watching
loves
BPL
it.
at
He
all.
loves it.
I'm not focusing on BPL at all.
Oh, come on.
भाई नहीं हो
Dude,
सकता यार.
even
But
Australia is not focusing on BBL. Why are you focusing? Why would anyone
अच्छा
focus on BBL?
BBL मैं देख रहा हूँ because पुराना प्यार है वो, so that just because of that. But I totally understand your reservations with that league.
Akash also trying to get into this chat, saying and being funny. I'll give that to him.
More
But you'll see more formats, one over each Super Over League.
Toss Premier League,
Toss Premier League,
TPL.
So right now we have
Finch.
what, 4 formats? Test,
Finch is
five.
T20s, T10s.
100.
Oh, and the 100,
100.
5. And then 1 over each in the Super Over League. So
And
7.
in between, I read a rumor, I guess, that ICC is thinking about giving 100 an official status. And I was like, why do you need more formats?
Oh my God.
There is already so much cricket internationally, that first, and then 3 formats. You don't have space for a 4th one. And the 4th one is like, it's not even a format, it's just a shortened version of T20 cricket. So, I mean, I don't
think
understand
maybe
how
even in 20, 30 years, you know what possibly could happen? The fact that the IPL is just like the best ever thing which has happened in cricket. And then from the IPL, they're just like, okay, fine, Chennai Super Kings test squad, Chennai Super Kings ODI squad.
Actually, that is something that I was very interested to.
Yeah.
That was the first thought that came in my mind, that a franchise test league, that would be kick-ass to watch, and right person comes on screen, because I want to see a test match where you have the lineup that Delhi have this year, because
or RCB had in 2008.
Oh yeah, or RCB had in
yes,
2008. Imagine that.
yes,
Gurkeet, we were just talking about cricket and the health of the game and all of it. Just what's your opinion on franchise test cricket? Like RCB versus CSK, a brilliant, riveting test match in Chepauk. All things come into play, but obviously it'll be part of a bigger tournament.
Given how some boards hosting test matches lose money, it's far closer to reality than what many think, because I anyway think test cricket will become a 5 or a 6 team sport. Maybe outside the big three, maybe Pakistan will play it, maybe South Africa will play it, and then one of Sri Lanka or New Zealand. I think maybe Sri Lanka will play it. So it's anyway going to become a 5 or a 6 team sport eventually, because the test cricket is one format where it's far more difficult to close out the gap in skill levels as opposed to doing it in T20s, because in T20s
100%.
It's very similar. It's far easier to beat Nadal or Federer or Djokovic in a 3-setter than beating them in a 5-setter, because the longer the game, the longer is the test of your skill and quality, and the longer is the time for the more skilled player or skilled team to make a comeback. So given how the state of, or the how boards lose money when they host test matches, or how they don't have money to host test matches, franchise test cricket is far closer to reality, and it is actually a more viable option than the likes of Ireland hosting a test match, or and then losing money, or say for that matter Afghanistan hosting a test match. So it is going to happen eventually. The only thing that I'd like to see that when it happens is that it's a league which is not restricted to a country, because the real skill or the real enjoyment, I think, of the test format comes with the diversity of conditions. So if there is a league, you'd rather want that league which is spread across the cricketing continent, rather than just being restricted it to one country, because if there is no difference in the conditions that are offered in test cricket, then it's not going to be as fun, because there is not
Or
going to
maybe
be.
they can just, what they do, not in terms of RCB and CSK, but like maybe Karnataka, Mumbai, Tamil Nadu, and all these Ranji sides, they can actually compete with some of the Sheffield Shield sides and the Plunkett sides and the county
Champions
sides.
League in test format.
Yeah, a Champions League in test format. Obviously, they won't have the main players for it, because you'll have all these Nick and Joes and R. Samarth and all these guys instead of like your main player. So maybe that's something that we can watch out for.
Again, that's not a given either, because if that league has owners that are going to offer you more money than what you would get through your central contract. I mean, sure, Bolt has let go of his New Zealand contract to play T20 cricket, but if a similar league where he has to play 4-day or a 5-day cricket offers him more money, then I'm sure he wouldn't mind playing that league. And it is not something that hasn't happened before. If you look at the World Series, which Kerry Packer got in
Correct.
late 70s, it also had 4-day games, if I'm not wrong. So it's not something that hasn't happened before. Maybe it will happen again, because at some point I do feel there might be a level of saturation with T20 leagues, and not everyone can play. T20 is also becoming a very specialized format. Test cricket is also a very specialized format. So I don't think it's that far from reality what many think, because if boards are
Chichan's
going to
going
run
on to
out of
say
money to
test is a
test.
dying format. What England is doing is only can save them. Honestly, who's watching the Australia South Africa test? Shub.
I'm not watching the test, but I also don't think that test cricket is dying at all. We
I
have
don't think
seen
it's
some great test matches off late.
Rawalpindi comes to mind. This South Africa, this New Zealand Pakistan one was pretty good. So there's lots of
there
tests.
have been many, and I think we will get to see a few great test matches during the Border Gavaskar Trophy as well.
That is true.
if Australia are able to turn up the way we are expecting them to. So
there'll be quite a lot of Test cricket advertisements, I'm sure, later this year. But on that note, Sri Lanka 82 for 3, 8.4 overs. So they're pretty much going where India were
and
going
when we
at that point of
started
time.
this Test cricket conversation, they were somewhere. They lost their third wicket at that time. They were 51 for three. They raced to 82.
So they're
for,
clearly not playing Test
now.
cricket over there. But I'll go grab a small bite, and then Somesh can come back through. Now he's re-energized through coffee, shawarma. He's just saying Ben Stokes, Kanta. Ben Stokes, Kanta. Last year IPL was boring, 0 super overs. TRP reduced, Virat, MI, CSK not performing.
Numbers are down.
Lad.
हमारे numbers कैसे थे IPL के time पे?
Down ही थे भाई ना. विराट 55 बॉल में 50 मार रहा है, फिर भी बैट रेस कर रहा है. क्या करोगे?
You guys said you won't ever criticize that. सब हरामीपन चल रहा है.
दोगलापन भाई, दोगलापन है ये.
हम टेस्ट पे कैसे पहुंचे भाई?
Someone commented, I guess. Oh, basically, Avnish asked me the events I'm looking forward to this year, and I said Ashes.
Quite a good test buffet this year, actually. I mean, Border Gaussian Trophy would be good. WTC final hai, Ashes hai.
Yeah, but I agree with that one comment. Why WTC final in England? I don't get it either.
I think it is the same reason why the first few World Cups were hosted by England. They are the elite nation who invented the sport, and every time whenever you have to host the first mega event or something, England takes the cake.
One is fine. Why 2, 3?
तो फिर इंडिया अगला जीतेगा, अगला तीसरा वाला जब इंग्लैंड में होगा.
I think one factor is that the light in England during their summers allow for overs not to be lost. But
what
the
about
rain could
rain
be a
then?
factor.
I don't agree with that. Yeah.
देखो पहली बात तो ये कि
पहले
ने फाइनली डंडा उखाड़ा बट बैटर रेडी नहीं था. दूसरी बात ये है कि आई थिंक एक रीजन ये हो सकता है कि इंग्लैंड्स होम समर डजंट ओवरलैप विद एनी ऑफ द अदर बिग टू. इंडिया तब कहीं और खेल, मतलब सच कोई इंडिया का कोई सीजन तो होता नहीं है जून में, एंड नाइदर इंडिया हैव वेरी हाई प्रोफाइल टूर्स एट दैट टाइम, एंड आई थिंक दैट इज द ओनली विंडो वेयर एज ऑफ नाउ WTC फाइनल कैन बी होस्टेड. सो प्रॉब्ली दैट इज वन ऑफ द रीजंस कि ऐसा हो रहा है. बाकी ये कि अगर इंग्लैंड में नहीं होगा तो फिर वो हमेशा फिर एक बार इंडिया में हुआ तो इंडिया में ही होगा. तो बेटर है कि वी गेटिंग एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू वॉच इंडिया वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया इन इंग्लैंड. सो नॉट बैड. आई एम नॉट कंप्लेनिंग.
I just feel it's very unfair because you're always going to rely on one or two particular set of skills to come into play, rather than having it on a rotation basis where if you're a world test champion, you can win anywhere.
So what in your opinion would be the perfect venue in the world to host a WTC final? I mean, it doesn't have to be a country, because even within countries there are venues which play differently.
Oh, good catch. I think, sorry.
Catch, भाई मावी क्या बात है भाई, 3D player हो रहा है यार मावी तो.
Chahal as a wicket, so yes, danda to nahi nikala, but catch out liya. So I think in coming back to the point about the venue, I think like it was with the New Zealand India game, it was a great test, but I don't think spin came to the picture as much as it should, and I don't think you can always play the final and say that we don't want one particular aspect of the game always being doing better. Now,
so this is where don't you think Oval is a pretty balanced venue? Given Oval is the venue this time around.
Ball नहीं उतना swing होता, but हाँ, if you can reverse it,
but far pacers के लिए भी तो ऐसा नहीं है कि pacers are in the game, spinners are in the game, batters are in the game.
Yeah, I mean, see, I'm very open to that in terms of it's not like a particular venue. I just feel as long as we have, you can bracket it in a way that, okay, I would love to see a England and a New Zealand World Test Championship final in Galle. Now tell me how you win there if England and New Zealand are playing there. If say Sri Lanka, one day hopefully that happens, that Sri Lanka, Pakistan are the top two sides, they are playing a test match at Perth. That is something that is.
I actually have a very good idea. होगा नहीं कभी. Have a 3-match series in 3 different venues. एक एकदम pace friendly, एक spin friendly, एक एकदम पाकिस्तान में, एक कराची में,
एक रोड पे. I think that see now again it is of course
fair assessment हो जाएगा कि भाई कौन है champion.
हाँ, because World Test Championship आप बोल रहे हो कि आपने घर पे dominate करा, you top the table, and now you're playing in conditions that are also similar to what you're playing in, and you can bracket it in like subcontinent and non-subcontinent teams. So I think it'll always be slightly unfair on the subcontinent teams. Ke bhai, you have to play the final in conditions that suit the opposing side far more. Again, it could also be the other way, but एक बार है तो दूसरी बार I feel there should be some kind of rotation that you see that variation.
और फिर WTC चैंपियंस जो है वो अगले साइकिल में एक भी सीरीज नहीं जीते.
I mean, you win the again. That could also be a motivation that you win the final, you get the host to final, you get to host the final next year. Then whoever plays that's also fine.
This was actually in the
IPL. Like this comment from
yeah.
Pranav Anand. He says that they should actually wait for the WTC cycle to end and then announce the finals venue, which will be a neutral one. And we actually don't get to. I mean, neutral test matches are so rare. And that is something I would like to see when the countries, the two teams competing, none of them are the host side. So that would be interesting, and that is how it should be, I guess. And every country can have one pinnacle of a venue where if they get the hosting rights, then they should then that particular venue should host that test match. For example, if in India, I guess Mumbai will be a perfect. Wankhede would be a perfect venue for a WTC final because the crowds would be good. It supports both pacers and spinners equally almost, and as well as the batters are into the game as well.
Yep. When it comes to pitch, I like the Pune venue as well, but I've heard it's too far away from the city for people to make it
acceptable. Neutral game.
In terms of connectivity, nothing beats Wankhede, yaar. Even Chinnaswamy for that matter.
Sorry, Pune पे इंडिया जीतती नहीं है, तो पुणे पे नहीं होगा कभी.
Shot.
भाई DDS ही है ना?
DDS ही है
भाई 11 पे 21.
See,
DDS is Marlon Samuels.
Chahal is so predictable. Chahal is so predictable that I was just thinking कि इसने अभी तक एक बॉल आगे कैसे नहीं डाली, एक बॉल अभी तक कैसे नहीं फ्लाइट करी.
Jeans में sir.
WTC leader should host the match, but then it won't be a neutral game, which I don't. I want WTC final to be a neutral game, so.
Fair call.
If neutral venue is hosting WTC final, India will never host any WTC final. I don't mind that. Do you?
No, I don't. I mean, it's fine.
Fine, yeah.
जीतो कुछ. Hosting का टेंशन.
If India actually host the WTC final ना, फिर वो हो जाएगा कि सालों ट्रॉफी यहीं रहेगी फिर.
But if it is a neutral venue,
अश्विन को मोटिवेशन मिल जाएगा कि 45 तक खेलूंगा मैं. हर 2 साल में WTC फाइनल अपना.
Need Bapu to strike.
Do Sri Lanka have a chance here? Because India were also at a similar stage. India were 92, exactly 92, I guess, in 10 overs.
But
I don't think Sri Lanka have the batting.
But Shana ka akela yaar. The way he has played over the last 12 months, especially against India.
Gurkeet ने सच इज माय लाइफ. गुरकीरत ने वो स्टेटमेंट चालू किया, जैसे बैट तक पहुंचा मुझे लगा बैंडविड्थ बोलने वाला है, फिर मुझे लगा कि नहीं बैटिंग की है.
I think this pair next 5 overs is the game. Hopefully we can.
Should also be a 3-match series for the finals. I actually believe that every final should be a best of 3 finals actually, but that does not happen. Only Australia used to do that with their try series.
पर यूएस में NBA में होता है ना, बेस्ट ऑफ 3 क्या होता है, बेस्ट ऑफ 5 7 9 कितने भी.
How long is a basketball game?
It's 1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour में भी उसमें बहुत टाइम आउट्स हो सब करके थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाता है.
दिन के अंदर ही मतलब 3-4.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं होता,
पर खेल
एक घंटे में दे सैप एवरी एनर्जी आउट ऑफ इट.
Just since we are on the topic of basketball and whosoever is watching, please do watch The Last Dance on Netflix.
Yeah, but totally.
I don't know anything about basketball, but it's a documentary that I really enjoyed watching. बहुत अच्छी है.
It's hands down the best sports documentary ever made.
Yeah. Like Cricket Fever has nothing on it, or even the test.
The test is PR. It's hardly
The
worth
test
watching.
is PR.
टेस्ट में ना सिर्फ एक ही सीन बढ़िया है जब वो डस्टबिन को लात मार के फिर वापस
Yes.
जमाता है ना.
But there is another scene in that. I mean, the moment when Manas Labuschagne gets hit on his helmet,
Yeah.
Ben Stokes' ka reaction background it is epic. He's like, "Oh my God, what has happened?" So that reaction was very good. And then Mitchell Marsh comes into the frame and says, "All right," something like that. I forgot it, but it was very punchy.
I think the fact that we don't get to see
says,
enough.
Shanaka needs to negate a lot of spin for that to happen. Yeah, exactly. And surprisingly, so Shanaka has shocking numbers against off spin. He, in his entire T20 international career, he averages only 8 against off spinners, getting dismissed exactly 8 times. And in last 1 year, Shanaka averages 129 against India, and shockingly, India has bowled only two balls of off spin against Shanaka.
Catch. Yes.
Gone.
So Gurgeet,
चहल
I
अपनी जगह एक और सीरीज के लिए पक्की करते हुए.
So Gurgeet, I watched The Last Dance when it came out. I've still not seen the last episode because I don't want it to finish.
You should.
पहले फिर से देखूंगा 9 फिर आखिरी बार फिर जाके देखूंगा.
नहीं मेरा तो ये होता है like if I watch a series and I like it तो then वो जल्दी से जल्दी खत्म ही करनी है. And I don't know if others feel that as well. Now like when I used to be in college, I had a lot more time. I was more open to
engineering college में time ही तो होता है.
experimenting series की आज ये देखते हैं, we'll see छोड़ देते थे. अब वो लगता है यार उतना टाइम ही नहीं है. So whatever you watch, you want to be it worthwhile. So the time to experiment new series or try and wait out and see how they'll unfold is quite less. तो कभी कभी क्या होता है because you don't want to invest that much कि भाई time लगाया बेकार निकली, you start rewatching what you've already watched.
Yeah.
Just now feels like वो जो engineering colleges में lecture bunk करके वो जो बाहर जाके सुट्टा मार के जो ब्रेक
डिस्कशन होते हैं ना,
डिस्कशन
मैच Watchalong तो चल ही नहीं रहा है, कुछ
ये
और
हो
चल
चुका
रहा
है वो अब. But Gurkirat, do you also blame the amount of cricket that is going on that you are not able to experiment with the web series that you would be watching?
100%. 100%.
Also, you have to write a thread on every match that you have watched, so that is a responsibility on your shoulder.
No. But so sometimes I want to watch a game that is happening. I am seeing people tweet about that game, जैसे BBL हो रही होती है कुछ और, but I'm like नहीं, मैं नहीं देख सकता वरना मैं पागल हो जाऊंगा. Like so when I was younger, I used to watch cricket because it was genuinely entertaining and fun. Yeah. It's still entertaining, it's fun. It's also become a lot more geeky, but I can't watch cricket 24/7. Like the day that happens मैं भी अपने Twitter handle में cricket crazy add कर लूंगा, but I am not cricket crazy.
Cricket crazy, gilly cricket.
I am geeky. I'm happy being a cricketing nerd and everything, but I can't watch the sport 24/7. There are a lot of people who can, and I respect them, but मेरा दिमाग fry हो जाता है. मतलब फिर मेरे को कुछ और देखना होता है. I can't. Like
totally understandable, bro. I mean, even I can't watch everything.
There's Nikhil. There are many others who are watching associate cricket fan code पे. Fan code की subscription मैंने भी ले रखी होती है. But I'm like यार नहीं, मैं इतना नहीं देख सकता. I want a break from the sport.
हमारी टीम में ना प्रमोद है, वो सिर्फ एसोसिएट वाले देखता है. उन्होंने कहा ये बोरिंग है.
You are especially watching a Tanzania game when two test matches were going on.
प्रमोद watches a lot.
उसे नहीं पता स्टीव स्मिथ क्या कर रहा है, पर उसे ये जरूर पता है कि टोनी वुरन ने क्या किया होगा.
True.
Pramod watches a lot of associate cricket.
Yes.
Anirudh Suresh watches a lot of cricket. Then there's this guy by the name of Karthik Raj on Twitter. He watches local leagues of Nepal.
I don't think Afghanistan Cricket Board has as much knowledge about their cricket as Karthik Raj has about Afghanistan cricket. Whenever I have to write something about Afghanistan, I ping him ki bro, I need some info. Can you help me with that? So
like he's watching some local leagues which are sometimes not even on fan code. पता नहीं कहाँ से.
भाई उसने अफगानिस्तान के गली क्रिकेट वाले मैचेस भी देखे हैं भाई. मैं बता रहा हूँ अपने घर में बैठे हुए इंडिया में.
क्या? Sorry.
आई एम सेइंग उसने अफगानिस्तान के गली क्रिकेट मैचेस भी देखे होंगे अपने घर पे बैठे हुए somehow किसी ना किसी तरह से.
For all you know, Kartik Raj might know ki from where is the next Rashid Khan coming from the associate cricket world.
Yeah.
True. Does anyone want to take that Sai Bhargava's question? I think we can go back to that question. He's asking for good podcast recommendations for cricket.
एक बोल सकता हूँ.
हाँ भाई, wrong ones with Western सुनो यार.
Shaunak, if you can put up that comment again, yeah.
So see, if you want it to be, if you are into cricket analytics, so I genuinely suggest that you can listen to Wrong Ones with Western. बाकी a little bit of self plug. मैंने but एक साल से कोई episode नहीं release किया. That's bad on me. But if you enjoy conversations on the sport, not particularly cricket, then I have done Gupshup with Gil. I've done 20 episodes. उसके बाद अभी आया नहीं. अभी my career is also my podcast career is also pretty much like Prithvi Shaw's. अभी आगे बढ़ नहीं रहा.
डिसिप्लिन की कमी है.
मेरे में तो डिसिप्लिन की कमी है, उनका पता नहीं.
Nikhil, anything from your end, or you are just too busy making fantasy teams in your spare time?
No. I of course, I'm sure a lot of you would have already been listening to Jared on 99.94. So I think it's always been a very go-to thing for me. So yeah, these two great cricketer. I've kind of grown out of it in the last few times, but 22 Jans and Jared is like the top of the list for now.
I like listening to the Australian podcast, which is the Cricket etc., because I just love Gideon A. He writes as he speaks. I mean, the way he speaks, it's like you're listening to poetry. So I mean, analytically, it doesn't always make sense, but at least you like what you listen.
Yeah. So now that we are on the subject, I also feel somewhere maybe over the last 2-3 years, because around 2016 2017 I actually used to read a lot. I mean, growing up I used to just open up newspapers का. मेरे घर तो एक ही न्यूज़पेपर आता था. मेरी नानी के घर, because my nanu used to read a lot, 3-4 न्यूज़पेपर आते थे. So I would do nothing. Summer vacations आदमी वेला ही है वैसे भी. So I would just read sports sections of each and every newspaper. So at that point of time I genuinely used to read a lot. फिर उसके बाद I started reading online as well. But I think now that habit has gone off, and इसलिए I also feel, because that habit of people reading a lot of news article and reports has gone off. So maybe somewhere those the qualities of those articles is also decreased in terms of frequency. There are some very good.
Yes, 8-1 allowed is very good.
Yeah, Sid, actually, if I mean, again, I'll plug two things here. If you guys want to stay updated, while Gurkha is talking about reading, maybe you could check out cricket.com's newsletter. We put it out every week, and it actually contains everything that you want to know from that week.
Yeah.
And in terms of essential reading, I really look forward to reading Sandeep Dwivedi's newsletter that comes out every Saturday. He writes for Indian Express. That is actually very well written. So I make it a habit कि कितना भी मैं busy हूँ, at least वो Saturday morning जो मेरे mailbox में आता है मैं वो तो पढ़ ही लूँ.
Yeah, I think it is very interesting, because I think I remember I would always have whatever cricket info would publish for a lot time. I would read everything that they would publish. But such have been the times that off late you don't even feel like forget opening the app.
But it feels, I mean, off late it feels repetitive, right? I mean, not just that. I mean, a lot of cricket reading, I mean, you can't read. We're in a stage where we follow a lot of cricket, so reading match reports and all, it's like कि तुमको पता है कि अगला sentence क्या होगा या अगला paragraph क्या होगा.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm still missing a few matches. Now, of course, I can't watch 24/7. So if there are matches that I miss, there are critical things that I want that match report to say, but it doesn't say. So I have to go back to a person or say a Karthik Raj or somebody else who I know would be following it on Twitter, and then I would go to that timeline and check what or where there's those events that they have mentioned, because they are not always part of the match reports. And I think that's where the accessibility part is also there, that you can always watch a lot now as compared to before. So that has also changed for a lot of folks. कि अभी आपको highlights है, 50 apps है, check anywhere you want.
वो कल ही ट्विटर पे ट्रेंड कर रहा था ना कि कुछ ऐसा डालो which gives your age without giving your age. So one of my friends actually put out के भाई अभी 12 बज गया है, अब दूरदर्शन पे टी ब्रेक वाला ही मैच आएगा, टू टी सेशन वाला ही
I saw that
दिखाएंगे. तो
I saw that and
we are of a time कि जब ऐसा होता था और इंडिया के बाहर के मैचेस तो हम देख ही नहीं पाते थे.
I saw that and I thought BSNL चौका connecting.
India.
क्या शॉट्स मारे यार शानक ने. सो
मैं अभी यही सोच रहा हूँ कि सब बोल रहे हैं कि ये स्पिन नहीं खेल पाता, स्पिन नहीं खाता है. I mean, or because is it Chahal?
Is also wide ना. Chahal is being बहुत ज़्यादा wide. Stump पे डालेंगे तो you won't get away.
I want to go back to something what Nikhil was saying, that he used to read everything that Cricinfo would publish. I think अभी क्या हो गया, because Cricinfo also they've had a lot of good people leave them. Dobble doesn't write for them. Melinda Farrell has left them. Jared Kimber doesn't write for them. So I think they only have Sid Munga left, who doesn't write as frequently, and then there's my good friend Karthik Krishnaswamy. I think apart from that, you also see a lot of people who used to write very well or used to be seasoned names at Cricinfo. They are also not there. So I think it has happened across the sports editorial industry as a whole. I feel a lot of good people have left, and they've somewhat created that vacuum which is still not filled yet, and it's not easy. I think I also feel that writing good editorial pieces which are 500, 1000, 1500 words long, they are actually not easy. They're very difficult. But I also feel that maybe there isn't. Abhi kya hai ki the crowd and the public at large appreciates a 30-second reel far more than a 1500 word editorial. So somewhere that motivation to do that 1500 word editorial is also not there. I also मतलब कभी-कभी मेरा भी दिल करता है लिखने का, but I'm like यार मैं इसे करूँगा ठीक है, but ये कितने लोग पढ़ पाएंगे? अगर वो वैसे नहीं पढ़ पाएंगे तो मे बी मैं शायद उसी चीज के ऊपर 2-2.5 मिनट की वीडियो बना लूं, तो the point might reach a far greater audience. But writing has its own charm, I feel. People who are avid readers, they know why they read, they know why they live with their books. So it's sort of becoming a lost art, and I don't know when it's going to come up or who can revive it. I don't know.
Very interesting
comment. Yeah, Nikhil, you were saying something.
Yeah, I think writing also, because like I began my career writing a lot, and almost like 2000 के ऊपर articles और सब लिखे होंगे मैंने, but there are still some very good articles that I remember of mine which I don't care how many people have read. Like there is Sarfaraz 98 that he did that he played in Gaul, which helped them win the game. There is Misbah century. There is a Yunus Khan cameo. There is a Shahid Afridi innings that in South Africa that I feel very fond. So when you write those special, like as he said, 1000-1500 word ke feature, you want people to read it. A very good recent example would be that Harris Roth 6 of Virat Kohli. Now, I have read so many good pieces about that one particular knock itself. It just tells you that it is why writing was special, because you could see different people feel it very differently. And that is why, I mean, most of us got into cricket writing and covering by reading a lot. We didn't get to hear or see a lot, but we used to read a lot of that. So maybe now it's very, it also has to do with a lot of cricket being played. तो आपको वो वैसे wow moments कम दिखते हैं जहाँ पे you are completely blown away that okay, this deserves an article. So I think that's also played a part.
So the last time I actually tried to read every editorial piece that was possible on an event was the Gabba Test match. I actually tweeted that I want to read everything that is there on the Gabba Test match. So drop your links or pieces that you've read which you think like in the replies, and I've bookmarked that tweet because it had so many good pieces that I think that was the last time I genuinely tried to read everything that was there on a win or on a game. Sadly, this is something that I miss from the 2021 tour in England. I just thought that the whole fiasco that played out, that the Manchester test getting postponed, and then all the leagues that Virat might get removed as captain, so that didn't allow us to celebrate that 2-1 lead and that win at Oval, because there were some absolutely rubbish and horrible pieces on how Virat is a dictator and he's not captained well, etc., etc. Absolutely, that's really been some load of crap that I've read on cricket, and I've read a load of crap as well, because listicles and everything. But the kind of crap that was written at that point of time after the Oval Test is genuinely one of the lowest points that I think in cricket editorial history, from what I've seen in the last 15-18 years.
Talking about load of crap, मैंने जो लिखा था गाबा का वो भी पढ़ा था क्या?
अभी वो तब तो मैं cricket.com follow भी नहीं करता था, to be very honest.
अफसोस.
So when did you actually started following cricket.com?
I think 2021 IPL रहा होगा, because some numbers used to
first half, right?
For me, it's very easy for Shubham because he can just go back to the DMs that I've sent him. So he can get the date from there. I think one more reason that we could maybe we can wrap it there was also we read a lot of country-specific information from specific writers. Like you had a double for England, and you would get insights from them only from those articles, which was not possible otherwise. जैसे मोहम्मद इसाम से you'll expect कि बांग्लादेश का lineup and all of them, you want accurate information from them. वो अब नहीं होता, अब वो सब कुछ online है, so maybe that has also reduced the motivation there.
1 second, sorry, couple of things. Firstly, I'm back. Secondly, I did have Rajma rice, Gurkirat, so that's what my mom sent me. I was completely surprised, but good on you. So likewise, dinner. And Abbas Kunde has raised a very important question just to break the ice for all the characters in the watch-along.
I think I can
Fan of which cricketer? We'll go one by one. We'll start with Nick, then Gurkirat, Soman.
I just have one thing to say before Nick answer that. Abbas, if you follow Nick on Twitter, I think you should know the answer.
Yeah, but people don't follow Nick. No, some of them don't.
I don't.
Maybe he would have followed very recently.
Nick, how many followers do you have?
60,000.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, come on.
So Nick, who's your favorite cricketer, and why?
I'll say the cricketer who's left the most impact on my life is definitely MS Dhoni. No other cricketer comes close to that. And it has a lot to do with how I have grown up as a person, as an individual, because like you see, I still stammer at times. This was far worse when I was growing up, and that was the time when Dhoni came in, and that was the time I was looking for a new hero after Saurav Ganguly, and that's when a guy who was not known to many came out, played his game, and then changed his approach for the team, and he's done so many things from there on. So I think that's where that persona came to me very differently, that okay, maybe this is how I can be, this is how I can learn, this is how I can be about myself. So yeah, I think I like a lot of cricketers, Tisara Perez aside, but if you ask my earliest and favorites, they'll range from Stephen Fleming to Marcus Trescothick to Kevin Peterson to Dale Steyn to the rest now that we have. But I don't think I've met MS twice, but I'm yet to say him thanks from the bottom of my heart, because I wouldn't be what I am if I had not seen him do what he did.
So you have something to one up silly point. You have actually met MS. वो बेचारा घर के बाहर जाके चिल्लाता रहता है, भाई बाहर निकलो.
All he get to see is Kumar.
ये we keep trying वहीं से आएगा.
We keep trying to हालात से आया है more than that. हालात morely the BBL and the kind of leagues that are happening and the randomness that happens there. But we keep trying is just a part of the fantasy culture. But the first meeting with MS is very special because it was a celebratory run that the team had after that won 2007 final. And I don't think I've done something like that for anything else in my life. And that is why when all of that, I was with the bus all the time. And when the event happened in Wankhede and when the players were coming out, I was there standing with a couple of my friends watching Lal Chand Rajput, the entire squad. And we met the entire squad and I talked as if, I mean, I was blabbering, they didn't respond, but it's okay. To me, that was enough that I could be so close to them. And of course, you have DK and many others who were very kind to just even say thank you to us. So that's where I met UV as well and MS. Of course, they don't remember, they don't have to. But it's those small moments of gestures that live with you for a long time.
And live with everyone. Think about it. That night was so special and iconic in its own way. It's like one of those stories where you can say, I was there. And in Nick's case, clearly. Obviously, this conversation is digressed in terms of favorite cricketers. So we'll just go to Gurkirat because it's important that we do this in exercise so people know who Som likes, Shubh likes, Avir likes. Yes. Gurkirat, you can even give me a top 3 cricketers, no problem.
No, एक ही दे. Time लगेगा.
Present favorite is Virat. Although I think his game needs a lot of reinforcement, and he's definitely not at his best. I think he's probably at 75% of what he was at his peak, probably even lesser. But I think why I like him is a lot of similarity between the kind of person that I am and the kind of person that I see him being. Like, both come from similar cultures, West Delhi, and then the thing
both
that
animated
mitti ka connection.
I mean, it's just that people have seen him lose cool on the screen. They haven't, but I pretty much lose my cool in a similar manner.
वो भी राइस और नूडल्स साथ में खाता है क्या?
नहीं, वो नहीं पता, but एक टाइम पे मैं भी छोले भटूरे वैसे ही खाता था जैसे that what Virat has spoken about. So in fact, around 2019, at one point of time I was 96-97 kgs. So a lot of my inspiration to lose weight came from what he used to talk about, how he didn't eat butter chicken for like 4.5-5 years and everything. So I like him because of the similarity that I see from the backgrounds and being similar person. It's I don't think that he's the best batter that I have watched, but I still he's still my favorite because of how I see a similarity in his personality with my personality. That's about it.
Okay, Gary, we going to say West Delhi. I'm guessing Gary.
West Delhi top. I think Gary is also from West Delhi. Maybe could be a chance. Yeah.
Calling Gary. Som, you.
Oh, so my all-time favorite cricketer is Shane Warne.
Okay.
So the last time I went on and planned to read everything written about particular event was of course when he passed away. Unfortunately, I mean, Nikhil to अपने favorite cricketers से मिला, मैं नहीं मिल सकता, but I mean I think there is no explanation needed why anyone would be a fan of Shane Warne. I think actually we had a question earlier asking about best books. I really love On Warne by Gideon Edge. It's that and Pandits of Pakistan are probably two of the best cricket books I've ever read. So usme nahi, in fact this is from something that Gideon wrote during the 2006 Ashes, that a headline said that Aussie leg spinner caught in a controversy. So everyone just assumed that it's Shane Warne. But the answer to that was Stuart McGill. क्योंकि अगर Shane Warne होता तो Aussie leg spinner लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ लोग लिखते Warne caught in a controversy because everyone knows who Warne is.
Yeah.
In terms of, I mean, it is very marginal, but I am a big fan of Sachin Tendulkar as well, and probably it's very difficult for me to decide who who I'm a bigger fan of.
And that was one of the greatest cricket rivalries.
And it just pains me over the years. I just feel that being a fan of Tendulkar has become unsexy. I don't know why that is. People try to point out. Maybe. I mean, probably when I grew up, being a Tendulkar fan was pretty obvious. But now people are like
everyone. I think everyone who started watching cricket in India, be it in the 90s or early 2000s, it was difficult to be a cricket fan without being a Tendulkar fan, because
and
it was pretty much what cricket was at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
don't expose us here.
A couple of decades and a half of me watching cricket, I have not seen a better batter than Tendulkar. What was the entire world?
What was the first time that you watched the game? I just want to know when you started that you become a Tendulkar fan.
First time तो मैं 95 में कभी देखा था. I was a 5-year-old, but तब टेंडुलकर का उतना याद नहीं. तब मैंने बताया ये स्टोरी की. The first time I watched a game of cricket, target मुझे लगा कि दूसरी टीम का नाम है.
शाबाश.
मैं इंडिया का स्कोर था, नीचे था टारगेट. ये मैंने कहा अच्छा टारगेट ने इतने रन बनाए.
No, but what was your first impression of Vaughan in 90s?
First impression of Vaughan was शुरू में तो obviously 98 में तो सचिन मार रहा था, तो I was very happy. But then 99 के टाइम पर वो semi-final final जो हुआ, and I mean two such back-to-back such performances in those two games, and then वहाँ से जो पुराना भी पढ़ना चालू किया, आगे का भी follow किया, then 2005 Ashes, बीच में भी जो होते रहता था, and then 2006-7 में Adelaide वाला जो test match था. I mean, and then so many moments, right? कि मतलब वो जो, and then of course what he did with the Rajasthan Royals. I mean, there are so many stories. कि Shane Warne stories are like endless.
Yes.
ऐसे कीपर को बुला लो कि डिनर में क्या खाएंगे, उनको लग रहा है कि भाई प्लान कर रहे हैं, प्लान कुछ कर नहीं रहे हैं.
Behind the left बोल्ड मार दिया.
डिनर का प्लान कर रहे हैं हम तो.
Even that video goes a long way with the fact that he's on a stump mic and then he gets McCullum out.
Yes. Yeah. One thing I think
since Somesh has mentioned one, I just want to tell him that he must visit the Australian Sports Museum in Melbourne, because they've made a cricketing section where Shane Warne actually comes and speaks. It's I don't know what it's called, but it's basically a projection of Shane Warne coming into the dressing room, speaking about his career and everything. And I actually watched that thing 5 times because I liked it so much. I just wanted to imbibe every word of what he said, and I actually posted, his. Let me just bring up that line. I actually posted it on my Twitter as well, because it's such a nice thing. And anyone who's, forget being a cricket Shane Warne fan, if you are a cricket fan, you just want to hear Warne talk about his cricketing career and everything that had happened. In 10 minutes, he spoke so much that you could actually relive the whole of his career.
By the way, I agree with Babu Rao's comment a while back. He said in childhood he used to think RSA was Russia, और मुझे भी यही लगता था उस time. अब जाके पता चला it was Republic of South Africa.
But good ones.
So Warne in that 10-minute speech, where he's projected in the end, he actually said that cricket sort of found me, and I'm glad it did. These were his last lines in that.
Wrote it in his book as well.
Yeah. This is something that he said.
And he stated multiple times, but like for the fact that it resonates more with us in the younger gen now, the fact that he's passed, I mean, it's even more so. But like good shouts from all three. It's hard to beat these guys. Virat, Dhoni, Sachin.
Mainstream people लेके बैठे हुए हैं तो फिर क्या कर सकते हैं? By the way, India won.
By the way, India have won on that note. Gents, 137 all out Sri Lanka with 20 balls left in the Indian bowling innings, and India will be thankful for Suryakumar Yadav and his 30-20 international turn for them to, of course, keep their record since Feb 2019 of not losing a single T20 international series at home, and of course beating Sri Lanka once again at home across any format. And Hardik Pandya will be happy. It's been an absolute romp in T20 victories. You talk about the victory of margin, 91 runs. Normally when we see that, we're just like, what's going on? Who's created chaos? Before we just go back to our favorite cricketers and finish that, the turning point of the game, because we just want to get a perspective from all you guys really quickly. What really changed the course of the game? Was it Rahul Tripaঠি's little catalyst innings which gave Sky even more confidence, or that was not needed?
See, we have seen games in the past when a few dodgy knocks made everyone believe that this is a tricky pitch.
Yeah.
Like probably Gill. The way Gill started, one could have thought कि अरे शायद थोड़ा tricky pitch है, but then Tripathi, when he started hitting, he made it clear कि भाई साहब 220 की pitch है. Sky को समझ में आ गया कि 220 की pitch है, मजाक नहीं चलेगा.
Sky के लिए all pitches are more than 200 pitch because he has
yeah, also depends Sky while he walked into bat, whom did he talk to first? Did he talk to Tripathi on his way in? So Tripathi would have said, "Nahi bhai, acha hai maar," or he spoke to Gill directly because Gill तो must have said ना कि भाई मैंने तो पहला ओवर मेडन खेला है तो तुम समझ जाओ.
No, for sure. I mean, yeah, I think Shub's kind of got it right a little bit. Nick, I just want to ask from you a little bit. Just want to ask you, if Sri Lanka go back to the hotel room tonight, which they will, how they're going to be looking back at this game, let alone the series? Could they have done something else, or would they just be like, you know what, a guy played a blinder, we came close, and we'll celebrate?
Yeah, I think they'll probably miss the first game a bit more than this one.
Yeah,
this one they were literally blown away by brilliance of one man. I think first game they had the game almost in control and probably would have felt we could have closed it out better. So they'll still be happy with the performance. They gave India good scares. Again, not that something that India did not know before, but it is just more on the wall for them. And in that sense, also happy that Arshdeep could take up 3 today. Would just calm down him a bit in terms of his performance as well.
Look, lots to, of course, ponder looking ahead because T20s are not the priority this year, but India have got their first series win of 2023. Inevitable, some would say, but nonetheless 2-1 and precious wins indeed. Gurkirat's smiling at his phone. Maybe he's conjuring up the tweet of the day for his Twitter following. Gurkirat, any insights of what we can expect?
Insights on sorry, what?
In terms of your tweet, what are you going to be tweeting right now? Because you can give your viewers a heads up.
I was just tweeting the cricket.com tweet on Karthik Raj. I was like, abhi retweet kar dete hain. Karthik has already seen that. So I was just, thinking of a reply to Karthik, nothing else.
Perfect. Right, guys, look, it's been absolutely tremendous fun, as it always is on the CDC Watchalong. We've been about 3 hours, 25 minutes in. We have 2 more minutes to spare, which is pretty much Shubh and me suggesting our favorite cricketers just to finish up.
मेरे favorite players तो इस panel में सबको पता ही है, of course. So I will start with Rahul Dravid. The first test match, the first time I ever saw a match by myself, not being forced by my dad. As a child, I was highly interested in cartoons, generic stuff, but my dad, he would come home from office and he would force me to watch cricket with him. I never watched, I was never interested, but then one day I just thought, why I was just flipping through channels on my TV set, and India were playing England at Oval in 2002, and I just thought, okay, let's give it a go. And I watched half an hour of test cricket and I thought, okay, this is not bad, and I decided instantly that okay, I will follow this game for longer now. And so I thought every cricket fan who follows the game should have a favorite cricketer, so why not me? And at that moment, Rahul Dravid was batting, and my first impression of him was that this dude looks good, so okay, I will go with him. But that innings, he actually went on to score 217. He was run out at 217. He was run out trying to save his partner, which was Ajay Ratra. And when he got out, the whole English team was clapping for him, alongside the whole Oval, which stood for him as well. And that had such a deep impact on me that okay, this Indian guy, he's getting he has the whole English crowd on their feet to applaud him. I thought it was some super hero stuff or something like that. So at that moment, I thought, okay, Rahul Dravid is going to be my favorite player, and that was the start of his purple patch, which actually saw him top the ICC rankings as well for a while. So Dravid first, and it was followed by AB de Villiers and Dale Steyn. It is really tough for me to pick between those two, but I think AB is the best batter I've ever seen. He's the most complete batter I have seen. Having said that, I would like to mention that I did not see Sachin's peak in the 90s. I started watching cricket in 2002 itself. So yeah, AB is the best batter I've I've ever seen, and Dale Steyn is hands down the best test pacer I've ever seen. So yeah, these three are my picks, and I would also like to mention Brian Lara in there as well, because he's another player I love to watch. I still go on YouTube, type Brian Lara hitting Danish Canaria. It is one of my stress buster to watch him bash leg spin. So yeah, these are the names I would like to say.
I just want to add something. Those who are watching, you should go to Shubh's Twitter account, search Steyn, and when Steyn retired, he wrote a brilliant piece, and then he, in that thread, added a few other pieces that he wrote on Steyn. So that the body of work that Shubh has done on Steyn is something.
Yeah, I don't think I've written written that many articles on any other cricketer as I have done on Steyn. I wrote one when he retired from ODI cricket. I wrote one when he retired from Test cricket. I wrote one on how he used to
overswing the ball. When he got
yes.
400 Test wickets.
No, not that time. Not at that.
Look, I mean, essentially this
and now Shah Rukh Khan is copying Dale Steyn's look in Pathan.
In Pathan as well. But Shubh, that was a really good college cricket video essay. If one of your professors asks you who your favorite cricketer is, and you just go on Dravid, Steyn, and
I mean, everyone was
no, which is good, which is
along, so
is what we need, man. Look, I'll keep it short and sweet. There are lots of mad cricketers which have touched me. Emotionally, don't get dirty-minded on a Saturday night, guys. Basically, I'll start from Dravid, Lara, Jayasuriya days to like people like Kohli, Peterson. Those 3 and 3. So 3 from the set. Okay, fine. If I have to pick, I'll agree with you. Dravid for me because I'm a Bangalore guy, so Dravid for sure. Guys, it's been absolute fun.
Bangalore.
Dravid is miles above. Nick, Gurkirat, thank you so much. Gurkirat, have a great year ahead because you just turned 1 year wiser. Sorry to keep reiterating that, but like you have a lot of fan following, so just throwing it out there. Have a good Saturday night, gents, and we'll catch you guys soon. And as far
I'm pretty sure इसे party में जाना है, तभी ये फटाफट
I am. I need to rush. I need to rush to a little cricket networking engagement, should we say. But Som, Shubh, thank you so much for your time. We will see Som shortly, or is he going to be there for another couple of Watchalongs?
Yeah,
Tuesday he'll be there, and then he might be a little busy, should we just say. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If you guys are with us right now, all the 23 of you like it, please like it, because our numbers really improve, and we require you guys to grow us. That's how we end it. Thanks for watching. It's a goodbye from us.
Cut it, Shanak.